We are being hypnotized by people like this. Newsreaders, politicians, teachers, lecturers. We are in a country and in a world that is being run by unbelievably sick people. The chasm between what we're told is going on and what is really going on is absolutely enormous.
Oh yeah, dude. There's some Nephilim.
It's like we all know what's going down, but no one's saying shit what happened to the home of the brave. These motherfuckers taking fullness now, and no one's talking about how they made us modern day slaves. And everybody's just walking around, head in the clouds, and won't awaken to a dead in the grave. But then it's too late, we need to be ready to raise up. Welcome to the end of days.
Everybody is slaves, only some are aware that the government releasing poison in the
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of Nephilim Death Squad. I am David Lee Corbo, a.k.a. The Raven. That is Top Lobster, the father of disinformation. Before we get into today's guests, a little reminder. We don't like people who don't have money. And so we will be shaking you off around the half an hour mark. That's right. If you have no money, you won't be able to watch this show. If you do have money, patreon.com/Nephilim Death Squad.
That's a rough way to say it from somebody that was just poor.
Dude, honestly, I've been thinking about that a lot lately.
Yeah.
I'm like, you should have never gave me money.
Should have never gave these niggas money.
That's it. In the words of Rick
Dave
James.
Chappelle.
So, well, technically it's Rick James. Yeah, should have never gave me money because I immediately started to look at poor people with disdain. Go over to patreon.com/Nephilim Death Squad and you can sign up for whatever tier you'd like. Continue watching this show, engaging with the live chat, gaining access to episodes before they drop. Also, early access to tickets to Bohemian Grove, as well as discount codes, allegedly, off of merchandise from toplobster.com.
If you want to give us more money and actually get something for, I mean, you'll get some stuff on Patreon, but yeah, there you go. Go to toplobster.com. David, as is tradition, pick out a random design that you want to talk about. I like the mother.
Yeah, I like Mother Horse. I scroll down.
Mother
We never
Horse
get to the
Eyes.
second one. Go down a little bit. I want to see what else is down
we got
there.
some more.
Ooh, the fall.
The fall
The
is nice.
fall is a banger. That's a really cool design. Yeah, that's a cool design, honestly. Also the Stoned Ape Theory, the Bigfoot one. I like it. It's a colorful one. We don't do too many colorful ones. That's a banger too.
It's a beautiful shirt.
Toplobster.com. Go pick up your shirts.
Let's
They're
get
so
into the
cool.
guests. Introduce the guests.
Joining us today are Ted and the very Italian Vince. But before we get into conversations and before we get into the corrections about how Vince isn't Italian, please, guys, let everybody know where they can find you. We'll start with Ted. I like to do that so nobody steps on each other's toes. We'll start with Ted.
Good. Very professional. Twitter is at TedLogan1010 or everything's at phoneboothpodcast.substack.com. Got 4 podcasts there. This has a podcast. We have a podcast on there. It's called Here's the Thing, that he mostly interviews like 80s hair metal rock stars. It's awesome. He was on with Direct D last night, so that was kind of cool. I don't know if you guys know who he is, but
I have no idea who that is, but that's not anything against Direct D. I am
this like-
completely uncultured.
It's like a European thing.
It sounds like a European thing.
no,
No.
he's in Arizona.
You have to click past that page.
Dude, can you click on the page and do it the right way? Vince, where can we find you, Vince? What are you doing? I mean,
You
besides
find me right here. If you click
That's
past
true.
that.
There you go.
I thought that
Yeah,
was a
there you
sex
go.
picture,
Now go
but
up.
that's not a sex picture.
Yeah, up there in the tabs, you can see all the different podcasts, the Phonebooth Podcast, Dualistic Podcast, Here's the Thing Podcast, and the upcoming Philosopher King Podcast. And then we got 4 pages for Ted, me, and Snoop One Poop, that's the other guy, and Jonah, that's the other guy. And then there's a whole bunch of there. Yeah.
Just go
I
there.
like the way this
quit
is
being
laid
a
out.
bitch.
It's actually a really nice
Yeah.
website, yeah.
I'm actually considering. Yeah, I mean, they came on.
Yeah.
They came on the page. Well, on our show. And
our
before the
show.
show, they were like, StreamYard's.
That's true. They did say
StreamYard
that.
sucks. EV Mux is where it's at. Cheaper, way more features, high quality, like 4K and all that stuff. It's great.
This
The
show
show
is
is being brought to you by What the hell?
Shout out Emux or whatever. the
I
hell
will
he
say
said.
this: if you email them about something, they actually email you back and like, "Oh, that's a good idea. We sent that
Yeah.
to our programmers." Blah blah blah. So that shit's cool. But anyway,
That's
we're not
really
here to
good.
sell
Alright,
you
well-
nothing
We'll look into it.
except
We're
dreams.
not going to look
Yeah,
into it.
that's
We're
okay.
not gonna look
I know
into
you're
it.
lazy.
we're
It's
just-
fine.
Can I
But your
just
page
say,
here is beautiful. It's laid out nicely. You got a lot. Like there's so much. I run into this problem a lot. Before you can just say anything, Vince, I'm gonna say something. This is like a problem that I had with my other website, Top Lobs. Is like I got a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
But this looks nice. Like you could find this stuff. Look
Does
at
a
this.
good job of laying out all the stuff.
Yeah, got a lot of shit.
Also, these motherfuckers got a lot of podcasts.
Mad podcasts.
Mad
Did you ever
podcasts.
think that maybe too many?
You ever think about doing a podcast
No,
about
I'm only on
podcasts?
one of them. All the rest is their own. I'm only on one of them. Everybody just has their own podcast. They're just underneath us. We helped them set up. We taught them how to use the stuff. We gave them whatever they needed to get started because we met cool people that had voices but had no following. And we're like, dude, this is easy. Grab a mic, get a camera, start talking to people. Here, I got almost 100,000 followers. I'll repost everything you do. Just get your voice out. So that's what it is.
I love
It's
it.
like
That's
an
very
umbrella.
cool.
It's like an umbrella.
It's like an umbrella. Yeah. All right. So, look, I want to preface this a little bit with me and Ted are actually preface. Well, preface. You preface it.
Starting early, boys.
Yeah.
Did I make that up? Ted and I are actually buddies. He was one of the first people that gave me the time of day on X, and much to his dismay, because eventually he was just like, I'm not associated with this racist anymore. And but in the beginning, before I was ever a terrible person, I latched on to.
Is that them or us?
It's not me.
It's not me either.
Oh, they can't hear us either.
Yeah.
Oh,
you're
you froze for a second, guys.
What was the name of that other streaming?
EV Mux. Hold on.
Exactly.
Hold on. EVMUX.
Shout out to
Is it
EVMux.
evmux.uk or something like
It
that?
has to be
No,
.uk.
.com. EVMux.com.
They
Well,
can have .com there. It's all good.
I can't stress it enough. Get there
Apparently.
quickly.
Well, you know what it is? It's not StreamYard. It's our Elon Musk supplied internet. That would
Oh,
really
that's
be
bullshit.
the issue. We have Starlink, and so anywho,
Got to feed the beast.
real early in my Twitter days, I found Ted on Twitter, and Ted was making banger after banger in the realm of flat Earth when it came to content, and it was I hadn't been on Twitter yet. Before that, I wasn't on Twitter when Twitter was. My Twitter's still, but it's just different. And so I had got on there, and I wasn't really subjected to flat Earth content. Certainly not at the magnitude. Ted was assaulting people with flat Earth content. Like it was like a never-ending hose of flat Earth content. Remember those videos where they would like spray black people with the hoses?
Yeah.
That was like me, like I was the black person, and then Ted was the hose, but it was all flat Earth content. And I was like, damn, dude. And it was like a crash course. Like I was learning so much so quickly. So I want to thank you, number one, for being my introduction to flat Earth in a really big way. Let's a round of applause for Ted.
You're welcome.
I see why. Yeah,
Thank
he's right. It's why they were banned. They would ban people like you because it's like compelling, convincing evidence.
Yeah.
that is hard to like poo away.
Yeah.
and it's just a fire hose of it. It's just consistently you and Ted was doing it. There were Death,
Rufus, and
Bill.
And Bill, yeah,
Yep.
and these four guys were. It's funny too. It was really my introduction into talking on Twitter in a big way too, because everybody, and I'm sure it's still the case, was trying to step up to the plate and say one thing or another. And so these guys got really good at not only presenting really fun information, but also losers in the teeth, which was a lot of fun to watch. Like over and over again, somebody would step up, and so they dunk on them. And am I wrong in saying, Ted, that's like how you kind of cut your teeth, right? On Twitter. That's because right now you're sitting close to 100,000 subscribers. And I would say that the flat Earth situation hasn't gone away. It's only gotten bigger.
Yeah, and it will continue to. Just a matter of how many people wake up. But yeah, that is how I quote unquote cut my teeth was. But this wasn't a plan. Like, this is me in real life. That's how I talk to my friends when they say stupid shit. So when it's somebody I don't know, especially someone who doesn't have the balls to show their face and wants to say something I already heard 1,000 times, I'm well equipped to down. So it was fun. And I think that it inspired other people to do that, to have the confidence to not just be like, well, you should look at this. Be like, no, you're look at this and then move on to somebody else and them too. So it's a different approach. It's not for everybody, but comedy
entertaining.
and talking is my whole thing.
Yeah.
Let me just say something. I am so glad that because Vince is making me so nervous Look at him.
He's
Look at
moving
him.
around a lot.
He's menacing, right? He's got this posturing about him.
Why
you know
am
what-
I making everybody nervous and people hate me and nervous and all that? What's going on?
Is this
You know
a
what-
thing? Have you heard this before?
Heard people
No,
getting nervous.
he triggers some people though. He triggered Escanor. He's triggered a lot of people.
Fuck that guy.
That makes
I don't
everybody,
like that
everybody
guy.
triggers Escanor. I love
I don't
Escanor,
like
but
that
everybody
guy.
triggers him. You know what's funny
don't
for
like
me? I
him.
just want to make it known. I can't see Vince. Our camera is over Vince's face. All I can see is Freddie Mercury. So there's a picture of Freddie Mercury. Okay, there we go. There we go. That's actually perfect. He just moved right out of the way of the camera. Okay, so that brings me to my next point. Before we get into all the flat Earth discussion, you do a podcast called the Phonebooth Podcast, which we highlighted at the start of the show here.
Yes.
And Vince, I never had the pleasure of meeting Vince. I met the other homies, and Vince is new. How did you find him? What vacation to a favela in Italia did you find?
So,
Which hostel did you
which
guys meet at?
pizzeria did you find
Should
Vince
I stay here, by the way? Should I
Yeah.
stay
Honestly,
here?
it's actually great. Yeah, you can sit right there. It's perfect.
the whole time and never move anything, including your mouth. No, I'm just kidding. So honestly, all the other dudes I'm still really good with. They just all had monumental changes in their life, and
Sure.
you guys know as well as I do, it's very hard to devote the time, especially when someone like me who's running it wants to grow. When you don't just want to hey, one episode a week, that's enough. And it was hard enough to get them to do that. They all have kids, they all have full-time jobs.
Are
and
they in
then
different time
other
zones
stuff.
too?
Yeah, except for Bill, he's in the same time zone, but he had something crazy come up. He lives in a different place now, a whole bunch of stuff. But
Oh, man.
so then I called Indian tech support, and this dude picked up. And now, so
I am here to support you. What do you need from me?
You know what? This guy. I
Do
think
you work
he
for
was-
VMux? Is this
This is a VMUX
I do work for EVMux. Yes, I do.
no, so what really happened was he was actually the first podcast we were ever on, me and Bill, because we met him on Twitter, and he was like, "Oh, I have a podcast. You guys should come on and talk about flat Earth." And that was the first time I ever was on a podcast ever. And right after that, this was before we even had a podcast. Right after that, he was like, "Hey, you guys have something. You should start a podcast." And I'm like, "Dude, I don't know anything about that. I don't even have a working computer, blah, blah, blah." He's like, "I'll teach you. I'll tell you this program's free. This program's free. You can get this camera cheap here if you need it." Blah. Someone who never met me, who lives in Sweden, was willing to go out of his way and spend hours on a live stream helping someone he doesn't know out. So when all of them left, he happened to come on an episode to help me because I had no guest. I had nothing. Everyone left. I was like, "What the f***, can you show up?" He showed up. And after that episode, I was talking to my wife, and I was like, "Man, it's awesome that Vince helped me start the podcast. He came here to help me when all this fell apart, and I need somebody else. Maybe I should talk to him about it." And the next day, and he's gone now.
He's like, "Oh yeah, watch this, dude."
So his was dropping out before, so I told him if it does, when he couldn't hear, just drop out and come back in.
Yeah, just
and
come
it'll
back
probably
in,
work.
yeah.
Yeah. But so, yeah, I was talking to my wife about that, and the next day he messaged me and was like, "Hey, man, I really had a lot of fun last night. I know that you don't have anybody right now. If you need help, I'm more than willing to come help you." And that's how it started. And then as soon as we got together, it was like the podcast is easy now. That's done. So let's build other stuff because we all know how to do this now. We've got that locked. We can do one
Yeah.
episode a week easily. Let's do a live stream. Let's help other people, blah, blah, blah. So that's why he's here, even though he's foreign as but it's cool.
You know what's funny about that though is like, that's really cool that Vince helped you figure out the ins and outs and how to get started and everything.
Yeah.
It is worth mentioning that you can delve into something as intricate as flat Earth and the way that it's been obfuscated and the way that they've lied to us, the secrets that NASA keeps and the lies that they're spreading and all these complex things like where people are out there measuring curvature per square mile, but you can't figure out like how to get a podcast started.
Right?
And I'm not even like dunking on you. I'm saying me too, dude. Like if it wasn't for Top's help in this arena, I would be useless. In fact, if he ever decides to go like, "You know what, dude, you're more annoying than you're worth," then I'll be reduced to being useless once again.
Well, I got a question. So where do you fit into the conspiracy realm, Vince? Because you're in Sweden right now.
Yeah. Allegedly.
Okay, allegedly.
I say he's
what
from
is-
Denver, but yeah.
What's the conspiracy landscape like in Sweden? Because you're not in
Really
America,
bad.
so really bad. So
Yes.
people are super normie out there.
Normies.
All right, break
Like
that down.
there's
Like,
a
how do you?
small number of awakened people. Like let's say 1,000. It feels like out of
In
10
the entirety
million.
of Sweden?
Yeah, out of 10 million people, it feels like a couple of thousand at most.
That's rough, dude.
Yeah.
It is.
Well, I mean, they're not like at the center point. That's what I'm saying. Like, you're not where NASA is, but you're paying attention to.
Well,
this
isn't
stuff.
that where CERN is?
I don't know.
Switzerland.
no, that's
Switzerland.
Switzerland.
I made the
Switzerland.
same mistake, dude. Don't feel bad. They're all
Well, they
fucking-
make the
listen,
same
they're not
noises.
America.
But I think what you're
Yeah.
thinking of, Raven, is Facebook have their servers here in Sweden, probably because it's cold. It's cold, really.
yeah,
you
that's
know.
why. That's why.
Yeah, absolutely. That's interesting because I think in America we've gotten to the point where like I used to feel very much like it was like the same thing, Vince, like 1,000 people were awake if you were lucky. And of course you disperse them across America. You're never going to bump into them in real life. And I feel like that's changed lately. I mean, certainly we
Where
know
we live, yeah.
where we live as well. We literally know a guy who owns a coffee shop we now make content with, and he's local to us, and he's making content with us. But it's like I do feel like I go places, I overhear a conversation where I'm like, this person knows something, or I'm at a gathering. I was at my wife's office party, for the holidays, and people are coming up to me and they're like, "Oh, so you're the conspiracy guy?" And I'm going, and they go, "What do you think about this? What do you think about?"
Yeah, they do it at my wife's office party. Someone was like, they came up to me and the lady, it looked normal. She's just like, the sun is not real. Like, that's not the real sun. And I was like, hold on, I don't even know you. Like,
but yeah, that's where we've gotten. I mean, I mean, that's promising. I mean, that's a good thing. In fact, I would say that due to the dialogue on Twitter, more people are talking about flat Earth than I've ever been subjected to, and it's spilling over into real life.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, real life. I just saw a thing the other day that, and I know it's 2023, so it's 2 years ago, but that like 1/6 of young people in France believe the Earth is flat. It's something like 20% in Brazil. It's extremely high. So people are waking up to it, man, because it's based on your senses. So let me just ask you 2 questions. Have you ever seen the curvature with your own eyes? Legitimately, have you ever seen it? Being honest.
I thought that I did until I realized that the windows in a plane have like contoured edges, so it creates almost like a fisheye lens. So outside of that, no, I have not.
And then the second is, other than if you've ever been in an earthquake, have you ever felt the earth move?
Oh no, definitely. In fact, when I was in an earthquake, it was so foreign that I didn't know what was what. I mean, that goes to show you.
It's funny. Like, you feel the earth move, but only when you're inebriated or you're like high on something. Then you're like, but are you really perceiving what's happening, or are you perceiving like this? Maybe. But over here, it's not.
Well, I can jump pretty high. In fact, I have a 47-inch vertical, and I know that when I jump, I have to calculate for when I'm going to land, because if I try to land in the same spot, I'll actually fall backwards because it's kind of.
He's the type of dude that will do like, he'll just be like pop and just do like a random front flip, and you're like, don't do that.
And then, let me tell you, nobody ever likes it.
This is Aldi's. We're in Aldi's.
Nobody
right
But you
ever
keep
likes
doing
when
it.
I do a front
But you
flip.
keep doing it.
Look, man, if you could do a front flip, wouldn't you do it sometimes?
Okay, you got me, dude, honestly. Because if
So,
I could do a
and-
front flip, I would. You're right.
Let me tell you, it's not worth it. Don't learn how to, because absolutely
that's-
nobody. People actually try to pretend they didn't see it.
That's not going to happen anyway. It's not
Can I
gonna
say one thing? Can I say one thing to the globies?
Well, go ahead.
Whoever they are. I compare that to people who thinks a man is a woman. Okay, it's not confirmed by reality that dude is a woman. Same goes with the globe. It's not confirmed in reality that it's a curve, yet you believe it is. It's similar to those who believe a man can be a woman. Do you understand what
That's
I'm trying to say?
Yeah, that's the biggest part of it, and that's why so many people ask.
Because
why.
reality tells you it's flat, man. It's plain. I'll go.
The number one tells you, or the number one reason is to try to hide God. That's what they want to do.
That too, yeah.
They want to make you feel like it's just you're a speck on a spinning ball, an infinite nothingness that came from nothingness exploding, and now here you are, and you'll be gone one day, and there must be other life forms out there because there's so much and all that. But the second one is if they can get you to believe that you're on a spinning ball when you've never seen a curve and never felt the earth move, they can convince you of anything.
Yes.
Like men being women.
Well,
Yes,
that's
it's the
yeah,
same
and all of
concept.
it is it's backed by like this false intellectual superiority. So with the whole men being women thing, they'll try to get into like the chromosome conversation or whatever. What's interesting is sometimes they'll say that they have the wrong spirit in the wrong body, which is odd because most of the people that would say that don't believe in God. So I'm like, I don't know what you're getting at.
Good
It's
point.
just like you believe in a spirit, but you don't believe in God. But but with the flat Earth situation, it's really backed by like there's a pre-existing body of research that people will reference to. People who haven't done the research themselves will reference it. And then when you don't believe in that research, or you say something like, well, this isn't anything that you've actually ever observed yourself. You've never done these experiments. You can't actually prove it. You've not done the legwork. Yeah. Then they just kind of laugh at you and they go, look at this idiot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's where the conversation starts, or stops rather, which I'm sure you've run into quite a bit. But we're in, I don't want to say a new landscape, but we're in an interesting place because not long ago, and we were just talking about this on a recent show with Sean of Kingdom in Context, and we were talking about this idea of the final experiment, which is admittedly something that I haven't looked at very much because, well, to be honest, I haven't looked at the flat Earth thing very much since my early days on Twitter. It's like it got not infiltrated, but so many voices entered the arena.
It's similar to the JQ stuff.
Yeah.
I think with like the size that it's at, or at least the size when we were like jumping in, I was like, whoa, like there's a lot of people in this pool and everyone's kind of like touching and stuff. No, I was like, it was just, there
What's
was a
wrong
lot
with
going
that?
on. Nothing wrong with
Nothing's
it.
wrong with it at all. We're not saying
No, if
anything
you're
wrong
into
with
that,
yeah.
it's fine.
It's a Christian
I'm
show.
not, by the way. I'm just saying.
Well,
I mean, should have led with that.
I mean,
I do think, it's similar to the whole thing because a lot of people want to contribute and there's a lot of information. And the problem is it's like when you're dealing with the floodgates opening and that much information coming through, some of it's bullshit, some of it's not helping the side that's trying to prove out the truth, but is claiming to be in alignment, which, some people claim that's what happened with the final experiment. It's like the idea that they, it's Cheney. Hi, Cheney.
hi, Cheney.
I love her so
Oh, is
much.
that
She's
Cheney?
awesome.
Yeah.
Cheney's awesome. We gotta have her back on.
We're gonna have her in studio.
By the way, one of the last episodes we did with her was like one of the highest rated. People love Cheney. She's awesome.
She crushes.
She does crush.
For a lesbian, she crushes.
For a lesbian, that's right.
I mean,
A
lesbians can
but
crush too.
to whom I owe all of my sense of fashion to. Let's just get that out of the way.
I mean,
She dresses.
here
exactly
lies
the
the
same as me.
problem.
Well, actually, I don't see it as a problem at all. So
I think Raven looks gayer than me, right?
probably.
It's close.
Hey, you trying to come for my crown?
Yes, I am.
You trying to
This is
dethrone
what
the king?
This is why I immediately was like, when they came on, I was a little off put by it because I was like, I see what you're doing the same thing we do.
It's too much me.
No, Ted saw the formula.
Yeah, he's like, I need to get it.
I need to, and he was like, just copy the formula.
I need a on the show.
Honestly, you cannot put a cap on how endearing we are. All right, we may be difficult to work with, but people find
I'm just
us endearing.
saying, just ask next time.
I
I would have said yeah, but
I'm saying, it's not our formula. We didn't pioneer it.
No, but the stuff about the flat Earth, like it got out of control. You had like the documentary where the guy's like, we've got flat Earth people around the globe, and then they did such a great job.
What don't they infiltrate though? What
Exactly.
don't they infiltrate? They
course
infiltrate
they would.
everything. So that's what they're gonna do, and it's flooded. And people like Jaren, which you brought up and get into, like honestly, 10 years ago, I never would have thought I'm here. So I can't tell you how I would act in a certain situation, but I can't see seeing truth and then turning your back on it. Like unless you can go, okay, I finally measured curvature, I'm out, dude. I'm out. I don't care what your light in the sky says. But anyway, sorry. Go
Well,
ahead.
there was this time where they used to have a stranglehold on like this idea of the curvature per square mile. And then what ended up happening is we developed cameras that allowed us to zoom in and see much further than we previously could. And what we were finding was like beyond the horizon where the bottom of a ship should be, imperceivable, or let's say a landmass across a body of water should certainly be imperceivable. And if you could perceive it, you would only be able to see from a certain point on a building upward. Well, all of a sudden they're finding that you could zoom in and see the ground floor. You could zoom in and see the bottom of the ship still. And so at the very least, somebody somewhere was forced to say, well, our equation for curvature per square mile has to be reassessed. And that was probably some of the earlier things that I saw that made me go, oh man, I don't know if it's, you get so lost in intellectual superiority that you go, I think we've nailed it once we write down the equation and there's no reason to revisit it, or if this is more nefarious. And then, of course, when you start coupling that with NASA's research or not even research, but NASA's proclamations of what they claim to be the truth, you find out very quickly that that's not the case. So my question is, can you talk about the final experiment? What did they set out to do, and what is your take on it?
They set out to deceive people, I would imagine, but not from just they don't agree with me. So there's tons of videos that looks weird. Shadows are off. They're walking through snow, but footprints aren't appearing behind them, even though you see footprints in the snow and other places. There's times when people were caught faking their breath with a vape, and other times you're in Antarctica, but you don't have a vape. There's a picture of them in front of a mountain, and it's all of them, supposedly, some of them with their shirts off and all this, but then someone found another picture where the mountain has the same exact snow melts and areas exposed, and other ones, like it's totally faked in some way. But
Wait. So I want to ask you about that.
Yeah,
because that's important, and I did see that. That mountain that they found, was that in a different geographical location, and somebody was saying, look, this is, no,
it was the same
mountain.
It was a mountain in Antarctica, but it had the same exact melted snow patterns from someone's picture from years ago. So picture a mountain's covered in snow, and then certain sections melt, randomly.
Yes.
But all of it was exactly the same, like where the curves went down. Not just saying, oh, it's close. No, it was the same mountain. So that picture of them in front of that mountain, there's no way that that's the same one. Or it's not the same one taken from the same picture. So
yeah, I've seen that, just for the audience sake. Like, I've seen that image, and it's undoubtedly, there's like 4 or 5 reference points on the face of that mountain that you can match exactly to the mountain that was in the photo of the final experiment. So I said that's awfully strange.
Okay, so let me just tell you
the name is also suspicious. Final experiment.
That's one thing. It's not final, and it wasn't really an experiment. It was an observation. What did they do to experiment? They stood there and looked at the sky. That's not an experiment. But let's say...
Well, what was the idea, just for clarification purposes? They were going to watch the sun?
Well, there shouldn't be, technically, from what most people believe, because the way the flat Earth is set up, that the sun goes around the outside. The North Pole's the same. It's laid out flat. But so the sun would go around the outside. So in Antarctica, you shouldn't be able to see the sun for 24 hours like you can at the North Pole when it moves up high, because it's moving around. So you see it go up and down. If it's a flat plane and it's going around, you should never be able to see the sun for 24 hours.
Okay.
And before that, believe it or not, until they went, there's never been a legitimate video of it happening ever. Everyone from the Antarctic stations would show it, and there'd be time clips missing, and then it would show back up. And there's all this, and I can't tell you what it is, and I can't even tell you that they saw it. But just because even if you did go there and see, which a lot of the footage is bullshit, clearly bullshit, and if it's a real experiment, why do you have to fake any? Just like NASA, if you fake one thing, you're faking it all. But even if they did see what they claimed to see, which is, we saw the sun for 24 hours in Antarctica. Okay, right? I have a few questions for you. What do helium and hydrogen do here on Earth? If you fill a balloon with helium, what happens?
It floats.
Goes up, right? Goes away from the Earth. So at what point and how much helium and hydrogen would you have to have in order for it to start creating gravity and pulling things towards it? Because here, they just float out and expand to whatever area they're in. But our sun...
You're saying that the sun is filled with or
helium and hydrogen.
Helium and hydrogen,
yeah.
right.
And it's enough gravity to hold all the planets in orbit. So if anything we can prove here on Earth is that if you let helium out with no container, it just disperses. So at what point do you get enough gas to where it collapses on itself and starts holding planets in? How does that happen?
Well, that's that intellectual superiority that's, I imagine, required if you are going to deceive people on that kind of a level where you go, what do you mean you don't understand that? Because I don't understand it. I can't claim to understand it, but I know that if I said that to somebody in a coffee shop, they'd look at me like I was...
So I know it seems like it's off subject, but my point is, no matter what they're seeing in the sky, I know it's not a burning ball of gas in a vacuum because we know that's not possible. How do you burn gas without oxygen? They say our sun is a burning ball of hydrogen and helium that holds all the planets in, and it's burning in a vacuum, which has no oxygen. How do you burn a fire with no oxygen? How does that happen? And how does it burn for millions of years?
It's weird because you just kind of go like, these are the laws of physics within our, on our planet. But once you scale up, then none of it matters anymore.
It's not. Right. It's not even once you scale up. It's a defined line. It's when you go from physics to astrophysics. Once you cross over into astrophysics, even what's his name? I hate that dude. The Asian
Neil deGrasse
dude.
Tyson.
No,
Michio Kaku.
Yes, Michio Kaku. He even says that they're 10 to the 20th power off on cosmology, and it's okay. That means they don't know a thing. So what they're telling you is complete and total nonsense. So astrophysics is totally different.
The planetary got him.
I'm here.
That's all
I'm
right.
back.
Wait for him to come back. Yeah,
I'm
I
here.
mean, oh, there he goes. Okay, sorry. The planetary, the ball Earth got to you. And so what were you saying?
I don't know. Where'd I cut out?
You were saying that Michio Kaku said that you're off by 10,000 what?
10 to the 20th power or something. So that's 10 with like tons of zeros.
That's a lot of zeros.
Too much for you to grasp. And in the video, when it shows it, it covers the whole screen. And he says
and he's saying off in what way?
In every way. In their measurement. No, I'm not joking, dude. In every way, their measurements, like okay, if all these stars are at light years different distances and they're completely and totally different sizes, why do they all look relatively the same in our sky? Why do they look roughly the same size and the same distance? How is that? How the fuck does that happen, man?
That's like when you have eclipses and you go like, well, the moon from this, point of reference ends up being exactly the size that you would need to perfectly eclipse the sun, despite it being astronomically farther.
But then this also puts into question, what exactly are these things? Like, are they stars? Because they tell you that they're explosions of gas millions of miles away, but
that don't even exist anymore, by the way. Like, these are just the lights that we're seeing from something that happened trillions of years ago.
So ridiculous.
Eddie Bravo had a cool theory. He said that all those stars are your external soul. Like the player outside of the video game.
Oh, that's interesting.
We're all linked to each star, whatever.
Maybe the real people, and then all the NPCs are filled in between.
Yeah.
Because
there's a theory.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
There's a theory that if there is 8 billion people, then not all 8 billion people have real souls. That the number of real souls are way less.
There's not 8 billion people, but yeah.
You want to know something funny, man?
Let's say it was.
The previous episode that we just did about 30 minutes ago, it was on, what's this guy's name?
Dude, I don't even know what just happened, honestly. Oh, Tyler, Daddy Junkie?
No, I know Tyler Yankee, but we were talking about guy who killed the young girl.
Oh, dude, I don't remember that Jew's name.
The
That's
inception
why
of
you
the
can't
ADL.
remember. There's so many.
Yeah, it's the same thing over and over. But anyway, the pencil company that he worked for and the girl worked for was National Pencil Company, NPC, and I was like, I just find that's serendipitous.
See, thank God people that watch the show, it's Leo Frank. Thank you, Chad.
Thank you. I should know, but we did the episode. I don't
It's
know.
just like when you get locked into a different mode. For me,
Man, I
everything
can't
else
see
goes
the
out
chat.
the window.
Oh,
you
yeah,
can't
you have
see
to
the
go
chat?
to
I had to
comment.
click. Okay.
Yeah, there you go.
EV Mux, you got to use
EV Mux.
On EV Mux, you don't have to click the thing. Very sorry. So okay, all right. Let's bring it back to this final experiment. And I think let's let it run a little bit longer today. Can we do that? For
He
the
doesn't
pores.
want to. It's like, no, man.
For the pores, we'll let the pores watch a little bit longer. So let's go back to the final experiment. So they set out to observe the sun, and it shouldn't have been perceivable in a 24-hour period consistently, and then it was who went down. And this isn't to besmirch these people, because I don't really know what's going on. Like, I know Austin Whitsitt was one of the guys that was supposed to go down. He was supposed to come on the show. Afterwards, he seems a little demoralized. He's gone away. I'm not trying to trash these people in any way, shape, or form. But who went down? Who are these people?
Well, it was supposed to be half people who believed in flat Earth and half people who believed in the globe. So it was McToon, which is hate that dude. It was Whitsitt did go. Jaron went. And honestly, I don't even know Will Duffy, the pastor that's half a fag, and lies about a bunch of other stuff.
Oh my God! Why would we say that about Will? Who's Will Duffy? Why is he half a fag? Oh my God!
I mean, because he's not all the way there yet, I guess. But anyway,
All right, fair
he
enough,
just
fair
he just says, and anyway, he's been charged with violations in the past for ripping people off and all this stuff. And then he started a church and used God to do it. And then somehow has all this money to fly everyone to Antarctica to look at this. And certain people that didn't go that were offered said there was a lot of weird stipulations and all this, but nobody's posted any contracts. So again, my thing is, we all talk about all the time, you can't trust anything you see on TV. You don't know these people. Well, guess what? I don't know a single one of these motherfuckers. I don't know. I know you better than I know any of them, and we've met one time in real life. So I don't know that they went. I don't know what they recorded and what they did, but I do know there are things that even if what they are saying is true and they did see what they claim they saw, which I personally don't believe, but even if they did, there's still many hurdles you have to overcome before you can make me believe we live on a spinning ball with a pressurized atmosphere adjacent to a 17 to the 10th power negative torr vacuum, which is impossible.
I don't even know what that means.
So,
see, that's what they do. They just say
so
things
much
that I don't know what they
negative pressure.
mean.
Wizard
they make
words.
it up.
Yeah.
They make
Wizard
it up.
words.
Wizard.
From the time you were a little child, mobile above your bed with the planets.
You know what's funny about that?
Astronauts on Sesame Street.
I was in Walmart yesterday, and I was passing by the kids' clothing section, and on the T-shirts, the graphic
How
T-shirts,
much of the stuff fit you?
all of it. But it's like,
That's
not the point.
But can't get it over my head.
a little loose, but it fits. So there's dinosaurs, and then there's planets. There's dinosaurs, planets,
Dinosaurs, planets.
Both
dinosaurs,
are
planets.
bullshit.
And now mushroom, they like to do the mushrooms now.
Yeah.
That's the thing that's also included.
Don't you have some stupid mushroom thing I saw the other day?
Yeah, dog.
What
They're
was that?
they're like shorts.
Oh, yeah, shorts with mustard,
swimming.
yeah.
I didn't buy them.
You did.
but they're on everything. So
Yeah.
it's like, what are you guys after?
I don't know what they're after, but you see those things
Mushrooms
in
are real, at
conjunction a lot.
least.
Well,
These mushrooms are real.
That's true.
Yeah.
But
Well,
there's an ink. He's like, and Vince is like, I'm on them
I'm
right
on
now.
How did you know?
There's a weird interconnectivity between mushrooms, aliens, outer space, dinosaurs, and the globe Earth. Like, these things all run in a direct line. And once you pull the plug on one of them, they all start to kind of like fall. Like flat Earth, when I started looking at it in like taking it serious in that manner, I was like, whoa, dinosaurs aren't really
well,
a thing.
They do these things like Ted is alluding to. It's like they get you when you're really little, and they indoctrinate you, and then
Well, they get my kids, and it's like,
Yeah.
what am I supposed to tell my kids? Like, dinosaur shit's really cool.
Well, you know what you tell them? You say, put that axolotl down. That's about transhumanism.
I try.
That's what you tell them. Right now, they're pushing. There's probably a lot of parents listening to this, and you might find that your kid is obsessed with axolotls.
Vince likes this. He's just doing.
No, I want to
his
say
thing.
something to this after it's done.
Well, I'll make it quick then. The axolotl, they're
don't
just
make
trying
it
to
quick.
look into its regenerative capabilities, and they're trying to figure out how to take that sort of genetic structure and apply it to human beings so that we have, whatever longevity. But it's all about transhumanism. It's about transcending our mortal form, figuring out how to live forever in some way, shape, or form. And right now, the axolotl is at the center of their research. And then all of a sudden, they're like, you know what? Let's inject it into. And I think that probably means that it's viable in some way. And they want children because in generations to come, they're going to go, hey, yeah, sure. These injections that we give you. They're a little bit weird, but like we got it from the axolotl, baby. You guys remember the axolotl? It's a
Cute
little
as he.
axolotl. He's so cute, and so they do that. They prime the kids with it.
So to that point, if the Earth is really a globe, why would you need to push it on the toddlers and the little kids? What use do they have to know that it's a globe? They don't understand on that level yet. All right.
And also,
Yeah. So why would you push the globe in their face, right? Unless you have to brainwash their hard drive deeply from the get-go. I believe, when you're a kid, everything you learn, it gets, what do you call it? Scrapped into the hard drive way deeper than when you get older.
Yeah.
Because if they don't do that, then the kids will be like, no, I don't believe this is a curve. I don't see any curve. I see flatness, So they need to put that in when they're young. That's what I think.
Yeah, we get into that idea with MK Ultra programming and our idea about the telepathy tapes, but all this stuff, the schedule. I'm not gonna say what it is.
There's a certain schedule that we're subjected to when we're little,
and it's got to start when you're young, and even SRA survivors. This stuff starts, the SRA stuff starts at conception almost.
Yeah.
So they're carving these neural pathways within your brain so that way they can program in a certain way. The round Earth stuff is actually kind of light considering
everything
other
that we
techniques that they've they've implemented.
When I'm talking about that like air of intellectual superiority, that comes from the experts. And the mockery comes from the people who have been indoctrinated since childhood, because when you're faced with something that breaks the paradigm that you were subjected to from babyhood, your only reaction is
babyhood a word?
Babyhood.
Okay.
it is now.
Since babyhood. And I'm sure Ted gets this all the time, and probably you too, Vince, now that you're, on X engaging with these ideas, you either get mockery or you get people pretty angry. Because you're threatening a thing. So it's like, if they don't perceive you as a threat, then they're going to laugh at you. But if they perceive you as a threat, then they're going to get upset with you. So that's probably the two main things that you're going to end up dealing with. And anybody who's in the conspiracy realm, disseminating risque ideas is going to be the recipient of either mockery or somebody that's like irrationally pissed off. And you go like, damn, dude, why are you so mad right now? I'm just telling you, like, have you ever seen it curve, dog?
Yeah. If you just thought we were stupid, you would pass the post by and keep going on to something you enjoy. There's something that, like, when your soul hears something that it knows is true, but you want to deny it, you get triggered by it. Like, it's like if someone tells you something bad about yourself that you know isn't true, you're fine with it. Like, this dude's an idiot. I'm clearly not that. But if they tell you something you know is true, it triggers the out of you because you know they're right. So that's why they have to stop and comment, and I love pointing that out all the time.
And that's why they get so pissed too. It's like, why are you so angry? I mean, you claim you sit on the truth. You should be calm. You should be like, these are retards. Let me move on. They don't get it. The Earth is a globe. But you know what I realized? These piece of people, they're either NPCs, Agent Smiths, or energy vampires. I think the most certain thing is that there are energy vampires. So you have to tell them, listen, I will feed you when I want to, hater, okay? You are here to rile me up so I can feed you back, like a feedback loop. They want to suck your energy. But I want to say this. This is a very important thing. I don't know if you guys know, but I have implemented a thing to myself where I am the jester, okay?
No.
I did this, yes.
You didn't make it obvious at all. No, I'm kidding.
No.
God.
I did this with my debate with FTFE. I ripped his apart because there is a scar with my name on his forever.
Good
Because,
God.
you know, I don't know if you know who FTFE is. Fight the Flat
Yeah,
Earth.
that guy is
A piece of Yes.
I don't know if he's a piece of but he's very
He's
Yeah.
a geek lord. He's a geek lord.
yeah, he's very whiny and he's very soft
And Raven, let me tell you this.
yeah.
When I did the debate with him, his
Yeah.
tactic is just like the haters to call you names and make you feel bad
He's
and
like that.
ashamed. Yeah, geek lord.
Super good.
Oh yeah. This guy's
Is this the guy here?
yeah.
You should watch my listen.
He
you
wished
should-
death on Vince. Off
He
the
wished
He wished
death-
death on you.
Yes.
He wished death
guy?
on me.
Oh, I
Yeah,
got
this
it.
guy.
The guy picking his
Listen.
nose.
Yeah, why don't you
Listen.
click on him? I want to listen to him talk. He sounds
I'm
like
gonna send you the link. Huh?
Dude,
Well,
when
hold
he
on,
was
'cause
on
I
our
wanna-
podcast, he said assume like 20 times.
assume. I want to say that he sounds like he looks. And I want to test that out. So let's let her rip.
All right, really quick.
And his response was,
Yep.
What is-
Well, he's got to have the, you know, that you know.
You can still hear him.
and you know, I was like, well, that's not very nice. I'll just get the attendant and ask them to get you to do it. You know, could you please just wipe down your equipment? Off, go and get the attendant then. So I went and got the attendant.
This guy's talking about COVID right now.
I don't know what he's talking about.
Oh, he's
but
on COVID. Yeah.
I gotta say, in this day and age, if you have a faux hawk, you need to be power to sleep.
yeah.
And I'm not saying that I would do that or anybody I know
Lo-
would do that.
Lobster.
Or that I'm just saying.
Because violence is
Lobster,
bad.
in the private chat, I send you the link to my debate with him.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
wearing a jester hat in the
Oh,
debate.
oh boy.
Okay? And this whole stream, he couldn't do his regular tactic. I made him so pissed that he came on air and wished death on me. And I was so happy when that happened because I set him up for it.
Okay, well, listen.
did a
Actually,
great
before we
job.
do that, this would probably be a good time to kick the pores out.
Oh yeah.
Do you want to do
Oh.
that now? Yeah,
let's get these guys
that's
outta
what
here.
I think we give them something, we dangle something in front of them, and then we go, nope. If you had money, you could have it. Guys, you discussed me. It's now 47 minutes in, and we're going live exclusively to patreon.com/Nephilim Death Squad. If you want to continue watching, go over there rapidly. Do it, because we're about to watch whatever this is. Otherwise, goodbye to you, you filthy pores. All right. Let's get into. I can see you wearing. It looks like
Fucking
is
guy.
that is a jester's hat? Okay.
Yes, that is a jester's hat.
All right. And what was the debate? This is just a run of the mill flat Earth debate.
Flat Earth / moon landing, some bullshit.
Oh, tell me he doesn't think the moon landing was real.
Oh,
come
he
on.
definitely thinks that.
That's very embarrassing. Any particular spot we should go
Yes,
to? Do you
I got
know?
it ready here. So, to get the context, this
It's a
whole
4
thing.
hours and 40
Oh
minutes.
no!
watch the
No!
whole thing.
We're not. No! The whole thing is great. We
Did
go
you
back
stay
and
with him
forth.
for 4 hours?
Yeah, but listen, what I want you to play though is the funny part where he said he wants me dead. Huh?
Okay, that's fine.
Hold on. But you have to first play. Let me just say this. The stream ended officially, okay?
Yeah.
And then they play some music for the people that are still alive. But we go backstage, okay? So we're still backstage and we're still fighting backstage to the point where he's like, he wishes death on me. And I'm like, hold on. Will you go back live and say that to the people? He's like, yeah, I'll do it. And the moderator's like, all right, I guess we go back live. And then we did, and he said it. So I want you to go to 3:49. I think that's when it
3:49.
closes. They close the stream officially.
Yeah,
and
we
then
can
I'm
see like there's like a logo here.
yeah. So okay, so we close down,
Immediately
and
when that's done. Yeah.
when that's done, we go back at 3:56.
Okay, 356. Go to 356 then.
Yeah, 3:56.
I can't
somewhere
believe
there.
you
Is
did
that
a
in metrics?
4-hour debate.
Oh, that's nothing, man.
Dude, this dude
Oh my
streams for like
God.
12 hours at a time. It's
What?
fucking ridiculous. I know. It's absurd. It's absurd.
No,
Apparently,
listen.
They don't.
Wait, pause it.
Okay, all right, we're back. We're good to go. Let's put this. all
Yeah,
the way up.
now we've come back from backstage to live again.
I like your outfit. It's
You
a
brought
wonderful
Freddie
outfit.
Mercury with you this time.
And Michael.
Yeah, and
smart.
Michael.
And Michael.
Dualistic,
Sure.
by the way.
Well, then we're back. Then I suppose. Go ahead and you can tell them exactly what just happened. What are you saying, Craig?
Let's go back. Are we back on stream?
We are. What are you saying, Craig? What's
All
going
right.
on here? This has gotten
Tell
extra
how
wild.
bad I am. Craig, tell how bad I am as a human.
I will. I'll tell everyone right now because I said it on my stream, right? Vince is nothing but a drain on humanity, a burden to society. Genuinely, the only way that he could benefit and improve society is if he died. I'm not telling him to kill himself or anything, but that is the genuine only way that he could ever benefit humanity is if he was not part of it.
Dang.
What did you? Why did you get him? Why did you get him so mad?
Let's look at that. Why so? Okay, if you
was
pause
pretty
it.
critical, guys. I swear this is
He
not
says
what I
pause it.
expected.
You said, why did you make him so mad?
Why did he? Yeah, why did you make Craig so mad? Craig seems like a reasonable man.
No, because throughout the 4 years, none of his attacks really worked, and I attacked back. I called him a bunch of. I'm like, shut up, cocksucker! Like, shut the up, Geek Lord. Shut up, it's my turn. You keep talking over people. It's my time to talk
Hey
over you,
Vince,
motherfucker.
Vince, listen to me.
Yeah.
This is a Christian show.
Do it.
All right, we need you to take it easy on the swearing. All right,
This is not good.
All right,
I'm
you
not
need to take it
comfortable.
easy. Reel it in.
Put it away.
Hallelujah.
Bring it down
maybe
a
do it
notch,
again.
also. Can
All
we?
right.
You're like a 15. Can we bring you to like?
No, I appreciate the
No, all the
passion.
words were fine, but Geek Lord is a bit
That was
too
the
far.
one that went too far. I would
Okay,
appreciate.
I will just say I do believe in a creator, just not religion. But continue.
Okay,
Huh?
all right. No,
so
you continue.
Okay.
Yeah, I know.
So I basically
or else.
listen. I basically bullied him back for 4 hours. He does all the bullying usually on others. He couldn't do it on me, and I think that was so frustrating for him that he just went to that place where he's like, I want you dead.
This is weird though, because isn't it super obvious that a man that looks like that, who's bullying people online, is only doing that because he's been the recipient of brutal levels of brutality, like bullying throughout
I
his entire
said
life?
that. I
It's so
said that to
obvious.
him.
This guy is like a walking pun.
I'm sorry. I mean, it's just the entire screenshot here is just crazy.
It is a crazy screenshot.
Like, what am I looking
Look
at?
at how taken aback Freddie and Michael are.
Yeah, play it a little bit more. Play a little bit more.
All right,
They're
go ahead.
upset. They're shocked.
What's going on?
No, let it go, Ryan.
What's going on?
We're all men here, man.
You're not a man. You're scum. You lie to people. You lie to vulnerable people.
You
post
just said that you were a liar yourself.
No, I didn't. I tested
Yes,
someone.
you did. Yeah, you said I lied to do this trick on him. You're a confirmed liar.
Confirmed liar.
Again, but I told everyone exactly what I did.
You're still a
Whereas
liar.
lying.
Yes, you still lied like a piece of. Huh?
Unbelievable.
Vince, you're real. I like you.
Oh my
This
god.
is great.
Hold on. Let me tell you guys.
Yeah.
I'm only an if you're an to me.
Sure.
You know, like
Matches
if
energy.
if you're showing some shadiness and being really cocky, then I go double cock on you.
I don't know that's. I like that expression. If you're cocky to me, I'm gonna go double cock on you. You don't
Yeah,
want to get double
You know
cock.
what?
Dualistically.
Get triple
Yeah.
cock.
Quadruple cocked.
Unbelievable.
But
Well,
see, you guys are nice. Ted is nice, and then we're all
Yeah.
nice together.
Right. Well, I'm not trying to get double cock, so I'm being.
Are you
I'm
sure?
Like, whoa.
Are you
being
sure?
Super nice. I'm very sure. I'm being super nice. This is a Christian show.
One cock in the mouth and one cock in the...
No, oh my God, unbelievable. All right,
Vincent.
you had to cross the line. All right, so I want to ask you guys, something very serious.
Yeah.
What I've heard about the final experiment is that all it does is disprove a certain model that people speculated would be the model you would expect to see if we were on a flat plane, but that's not the only model or something of that nature. So outside of the idea that potentially they just didn't go to this place or do this thing and they're in front of this mountain that is, admittedly, I've seen the images, very strange. I've seen the images of the shadows that don't make sense, where it looks like if you've got a light source coming from a particular direction, why are these shadows going this way and those shadows are going that way? I've seen that and I've gone, that's not how shadows behave. That's weird. But is there any room in the discussion for like, well, it just doesn't prove that model, but there are other functioning models of flat Earth that still, are standing strong.
Oh, absolutely. That's what I was saying from the very beginning. They may have seen that. I don't know. I wasn't there. I'm not saying they didn't. I'm not saying they did. I don't know these people. But just because they saw that doesn't disprove. Like, some people have models that say this, and other people, like Shane St. Pierre, have models that completely explain it with the firmament and all that, and reflections. People are like, oh, that's bullshit. Well, go look at it. It shows you that we all live in our personal, like, atmospheric dome, and everyone's like, oh, dome, flat Earth. All it means is, say, pick any number. You can see, let's just make it simple, 10 feet. Just say you could see 10 feet, right? You could see 10 feet in every direction. So if you looked in every direction around you and the ground is what it is, whether you think it's flat or round, that's a dome of perspective. So when you're looking and the sun is going by in one way, you're looking from your point where you are right there in your dome of perspective. That's all it means. But Shane has a whole model that it doesn't say that it doesn't work just because they saw that. And again, they could have seen it, they could have not. I don't know. I wasn't there. It doesn't really matter to me, because again, there are things that even if they did see that, you cannot explain on the globe theory. You just can't, because reality tells us otherwise. So even if we were wrong on one part, or some people were wrong, it doesn't get okay. You good. Even if you say you got to win, now let's move on to the other 125 facts that you can't disprove. So
there's this idea that if you don't believe in the model that's given, then you are beholden to then present a model that it's like, if this isn't it, then what is it? And it's like, dude, I don't know what it is. I just know that I'm looking at a bunch of idiosyncrasies here. You're claiming X, Y, and Z. That's provably false. Therefore, your model is incorrect. And then all of a sudden, it's left on you
to prove this
to prove it otherwise. And it's like, to prove that your model is wrong is one thing, but to then have to be like, well, here is what's actually happening, which is, I think, where a lot of people get in trouble, right? Even in just any other conspiracy, that's the case. It's like, I see elements that somebody's hand is moving things and orchestrating things one way or another, whether it's geopolitically, whether it's culturally, whether it's, symbols in the music video. And then all of a sudden, because you notice these things, there's a type of individual that turns to you and goes, well, then what do you think is going on? And it's like, it's like when you say, like, I don't know, they're doing, who is they? It's like, damn, I don't know. I just recognize that what they're telling us is going on is not what's going on.
Exactly.
Well, have you guys ever spoken with Topher Gardner of Biocharisma?
No, I haven't.
He's got some interesting work, because you've kind of been talking about this idea of the dome, and this dude has I guess he has multiple companies, but what he really specializes is in dome building and manufacturing, the creation of like these it's like a home, but it's shaped like a dome, and he plays around with different geometrical shapes, like different sacred geometry, from stars to like other patterns that create like just pure tension between metal rods. And this is even done with sticks at some point, like in antiquity. Like, but the point is that he believes it's also a reflection of what we live under.
Yeah.
And why it works so beautifully, because the tension of a dome doesn't allow for like external pressures to really mess with it. Even pressures below, like earthquakes, it's resilient to that. And it's like a mimicry of I don't know what they call it, the tabernacle.
Oh yeah, the tabernacle. The idea that the tabernacle from the Bible was a miniaturized replica, 2-scale replica of the firmament that God sits above. And I mean, there's something to be said about the shape of a dome.
It's not just like the geometrical shape and it's the structural integrity of the thing. It's when you're inside of it as well, the acoustics that will resonate within a dome or other kind of like cathedral like places. You'll see them a lot of times in religious architecture. They'll have like domes or other like Tartarian type buildings, and that's to manipulate the sound that goes on in there. And it's an interesting overlap when you look at that, and then you have to then justify like a round Earth with some sort of an atmosphere, or you can kind of look at what the Bible is saying. It's like, well, why does this work so well on this reality? Why why is it like as above, so below, that this structure seems to be exactly this structure seems to be the one that it just works better rather than we all live in 4 square walls, but it's kind of like a loony bin.
It's like dependent on right angles, that if any one of them failed, the whole structure would fail.
Yeah, exactly. But whereas a dome would be built in a much more simple manner.
Yeah.
And it's just a better structure.
Have you seen, you were talking about old buildings and structures, have you seen where people have recorded the resonant sound inside a cathedral or something, and then they amplify it on a cymatic plate, and it happens to match the pattern that's on the stained glass window? Like,
so Topher is the guy that interviewed that lady.
Oh,
she's
nice.
So what she did was inside of this cathedral, I forget, I think it was like a Catholic cathedral.
Yeah.
She went in there and
one built supposedly in the Dark Ages.
Yeah, what they do is she measured complete silence in the cathedral, and then she recorded it. Then she played that recording and repeated that same process 7 times until she's playing like 6 layers of silence over itself. And then from there, she took a mix of all of those recordings, all 7 of those, played it on a cymatic plate, and it just so happened that the vibrations matched up to the patterns on the stained glass. So we're like, what the hell is actually going on in these places?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't know. Like we were trying to pick his brain. Like, hey, is that the chicken or the egg? Like, what happened first? Did they design? And he thinks it's about frequency. These people knew, they understood that this frequency would create maybe some sort of resonant feeling in the occupant of the building. Designed the building that way, and just so happened that like it just continues to reflect itself fractally all the way down.
Yeah, it's all frequency, man.
You know what I think it is? I don't think it's a physical thing. It's just like a barrier, just like a video game where you can't. Have you seen the invisible
firmament
walls?
you're talking about?
The firmament. Yeah, I don't think it's a physical thing. Our frequency, whatever we are, we can't go past it. It's like blocking us. Just like a invisible wall in a video game, you can't go past it because
it's the ends of the realm.
Well, yeah,
programming.
That talks about like the levels of the 7th heaven, and some people think that this is like a dome, and then above it is like another dome, and then there is like they say God is the Most High, meaning
in the 7th heaven. That's where he resides.
Yeah, literally, physically, like up the Most High, and we can't traverse these things. I think we can traverse. Maybe it's a possibility, like when we do DMT mushrooms
or whatever this was doing at the Tower of Babel.
Yeah, exactly. Now the Tower of Babel, that story, is that like a building that goes up high? Is that a Stargate that could kind of traverse through there?
While you're on this real quick, hold on, let me ask you. So in the Bible, it says that God destroyed the Tower of Babel because people were coming together, building a structure, trying to reach him, correct? That's the rough overview of it. What do you think he would do if you tried to shoot rockets up in the air?
Well, I mean, hopefully he would smack them down and throw fireballs at us. I mean, I was actually going to bring that up because I know Vince is saying he doesn't think it's like a physical thing. But when I watch those SpaceX launches where it looks like it's splashing against some sort of a viscous material, it looks similar to a boat traveling across water from a top-down view.
Well, we have one coming, I think Sunday. You're in Florida too, right, Ted?
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, they're going to launch another one?
Yeah, I can still see them. Oh, here we go.
Yeah, it's right by us. We'll be able to see this. I think Saturday or Sunday. Got to look it up. But the last one that I did see that he blew up, that he threw up, they celebrated it, and it just blew up, and it looked like it hit the firmament. It looked like it hit something physical.
But guys, have you seen the rocket, the private rocket or something?
The Go Fast rocket that hit it and it stopped. Yeah, but it sounded like water. That's the thing. It's like there's a barrier, whether it's real or digital or whatever, but it seems like it gets thicker first and then it slowly becomes a solid barrier. And I've heard people, and I can't say if it's true or not, but supposedly someone who used to work for NASA leaked stuff through emails talking to people, and they were talking about, basically 70-something miles up, which happens to be the same height that rocket went to, that they can't go past that. And they were like, well, why can't you? And it's like, oh, we're not allowed. Well, who won't allow you? And then they didn't want to answer it. Like, they physically could, but they weren't granted access or whatever. So I don't know if it's a vibrational change or what it is, but I mean, who
Well,
the
that
fuck
goes
knows?
to that Werner von Braun headstone thing. I don't know if that's ever been confirmed or if that's just
that's true. That's the
I
reality.
was just like, I've just been lying to people, which I'm comfortable with. But this idea that on Werner von Braun's headstone it says like God showeth his handiwork in the firmament. You know, and
it's just
like,
a scripture of quotes the Bible.
yeah, and it's like, okay, so this dude who dedicated all of his time to space exploration, by the way, a Nazi taking over here in Operation Paperclip, around the same time that all the weird, shady starts happening, you know, the CIA development and MK Ultra programs and all this, he spends his life dedicating it to space exploration, and then in the end, he puts a Bible verse on his headstone that talks about the firmament. It's just, you know, the whole thing screams, he's trying to tell you on his way out, maybe. I don't know if he's experiencing remorse or something like that, but we just go like, anyway. And then you just keep going. You watch NASA's fake and stupid. Like, one of the things with NASA that always gets me is when they show an image of the globe from space, and you know, what's that Elon Musk quote where it's like, it looks so fake, that's how you know it's real.
Yeah.
And for some reason, the continents are always of varying sizes. Like, sometimes Florida and the United States look so big that you're like, North America would account for like 80% of the globe if that model that I'm looking at that's supposed to
Even
be
better,
real
the
is
Red
real.
Bull jump.
Yeah, that one. that
I'm not
giant
familiar
curve.
with what happened on that.
Ted, you probably know about
He
the
went
Red
up
Bull.
and well, first before I go into the Red Bull jump, but remind me, you were talking about Werner von Braun, and yes, it's Psalms 19:1, which we all know, 9:11, 10 being the perfect number, Aleister Crowley, 9 on one side, 11 on the other. It's all tied in there. The one that happens to point out their lie and all that, which Aleister Crowley also had a hand in founding NASA with the butt babies out in the desert and all that. It all comes back.
L. Ron Hubbard and Jack Parsons. Jack Parsons worked for like a Jet Propulsion Laboratory, which is a subcontracted company that NASA uses, and he's like a huge Crowley advocate, and he's in the desert trying to summon in Babylon, the sort of the divine feminine that I think we're all being plagued by.
And
today.
then Walt Disney, he's the other one who had a hand in it. So these
That
are the
homo.
people who started all your. But yeah, the Red Bull jump, it was over New Mexico. He goes up and supposedly, and people are like, look at the curve of the Earth. But you can line up the geography, and that would be planet New Mexico. Like, the curve literally would be just in the state. It's absolutely absurd. And when it opens up,
Planet New
it's
Mexico.
like it's what it would be. And when the capsule thing opens up, when it's not the GoPro on the outside, you see from the inside the horizon's flat. Not only is it flat, but it's at eye level, exactly where it was on that camera before he came off the ground. So the horizon, people have lined up those images. It's the same. Now, if you're on a ball, the higher you go, the horizon would be further and down. Because you're on a ball, it would be dropping away from you. It wouldn't be staying up at eye level, but it does. No one's ever seen it go anywhere else.
Yeah, and I love that everything they ever want to show you too is like, that's a fisheye lens, dog. That's a fisheye lens. Over and over again, I'm like, that's a fisheye lens. But that proportion thing is like super inconsistent. Like I remember watching something where it was like hurricane season and they were tracking a hurricane and they were trying to say like, look at how big this hurricane is from, you know, whatever, the satellite image. And I'm like, yeah, that hurricane is 1/5 the size of the planet. Like it was so big, it didn't make any sense at all. And then I'm looking at like the continents and I'm like, that doesn't make any sense. Like, none of this makes sense. And it's like, they'll do that over and over again. It makes you wonder where the first introduction of the globe would have been into like the public awareness. Like, who did that? Where did we first see that? Because I remember seeing something that was like Universal Studios had in their logo the image of the globe that was like predated us actually getting satellite imagery of the globe. But it was like somehow Universal Studios knew, and I was like, is that real, dude?
Yeah,
like, how the hell
I
did
think it was in the 20s or 30s.
Way
and
back,
then no one went up anywhere until, you know, they went to the moon, basically. The only time they were far enough away in 69. So it's all bullshit, man. How did they know?
Universal Studios just knew, dude. They just knew.
Dude, we all know the governments lie about almost everything, right? Why do we trust them on this? Why would they tell you the truth on this?
That's
because
something
I've seen
that-
the curve with my own eyes, bro.
Yeah, where?
Well, that's
Let's
something
go
that Ted
there.
and I we've talked about that in the past. It's like there's a cognitive dissonance between people when it comes to this topic. People are pretty comfortable, generally speaking, if you go around to them in the streets and you were like, "Do you believe that the government lies?" And they'd be like, "Yeah, dude. Yeah, of course." It doesn't matter, young or old, male or female, or some sort of in between gender, furry. They're gonna pretty much respond unanimously. I wouldn't be surprised if you're batting, 100%. That's probably not the expression. What's the baseball?
1,000.
Sure. You're batting 1,000 when it comes to people saying, yeah, the government lies. But then if you went like, do you think they lied about the shape of the Earth?
But about what?
No.
Right.
No, I mean, NASA, that's not.
You need
All
to
you
go
have to
like,
do is say it's nasa.gov. Go ahead. That's where it is.
That's it.
It's a government, man.
Vince, do you think you lean? It seems like you lean more into this being like a simulation of sorts. Is that where you're at?
Yes. I never really want to say 100%, but on this, I think I'm going to go and say 100%. Yes, I think this is 100% simulation. And we're trying to build another simulation within the simulation, and that's going to be built by Satan. And once you connect your brain into that simulation, which is indistinguishable to reality, that's when Satan is God in that realm, and you are its slave, and you are now in hell. That's the goal, I believe. It's all going towards that. But there's a lot. I think I worked with VR. Have you guys tried VR headsets?
I haven't tried VR headsets in a really long time. I got like super hot and nauseous.
Yeah, last time I tried it, it was still rudimentary, but I was like, I don't like this.
I know they're killing it now though. Like right now they've dialed it in, and it's a good time.
But listen, why you're feeling nauseous? Everybody pretty much feels that because your brain, it really thinks it's over there, even though the graphic is blocky and all that. It doesn't really matter. It still thinks it's in a blocky realm. Like reality got blocky. So when you move in there, your brain thinks you're moving, but it's getting some wrong codes back. Like your body is still standing, but we are moving. That's why you're getting nauseous. But I'll go.
No, I was gonna say this is that video that you and I talked about before. I'm sure you guys have seen it. Have you seen that? The arm sounds weird. The hammer and hand experiment.
Oh yeah.
It's insane. You don't have
I
to
want
pull
to
it
do
up
that
if
to
they've
my
seen
son.
it,
That's
but-
a great idea. So for the audience, it's like, you'll put your arm inside your shirt, and then your empty sleeve, they'll put a fake arm, and you'll tell you to put your palm on the table, and they'll put the palm of the fake arm on the table so it looks like your arm. And then what they'll do is they'll start like touching it with like a feather or something like that, and they're like, "Can you feel that?" And people are like, "Yeah, dude, I could feel that." And then eventually they whack it with a hammer, and everybody is always like, "Holy crap!" Like they react like they just
I got it
whacked with a
here. If
hammer.
you want to pull it up,
Please,
a second.
yeah, play that. It's such a great experiment. It really shows you like the ability
happened
to
to the sound?
hijack our psychology.
Yeah.
Oh, don't worry,
It's
we
you,
got it on
Vince.
this. on
I
this
need to
side.
refresh. I don't hear you guys.
Oh, you don't have
I'm
to
refreshing.
refresh. You gotta refresh.
Well, he
That's
took
also
his-
going to bring his thing with him. But honestly, I think I'm going to try to do that to my kid. Oh wait, it just requires a fake arm. I don't have one of those yet. Here, let's add Vince
find
back to
one.
the stage.
Fucking StreamYard, man.
It's
Evie
StreamYard.
Monks
StreamYard.
is where it's at.
This episode is brought to you by StreamYard. We would never say anything bad about StreamYard because StreamYard is the best. Okay.
Yeah,
here we
you're
go. Let's
right.
put this
It's
on
the
stage.
best.
Oh, I got to take this down. Okay.
Okay, that's what's
That's
going
the
on.
problem.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
We got to bring down the debate.
Here we go.
Okay.
To train your brain to believe that.
Can you play it
this
at faster
hand,
speed?
This arm,
Yes.
All right, because it's a little long, but yeah.
125 or 15?
1.5 probably.
Let's do 1.5.
arm is your arm. You see we've got this divider here? So right now you can kind of see your arm. You see the arm there? And I'm going to cover over part of your arm. Now I'm doing that because your eyes talk to your brain. And your eyes tell you this is what's happening. So now can you physically see your arm, your right arm here? No. Great. So I'm going to take these two classroom rulers. So we're going to train the sensations. You feel the rulers touching your hands because it's now becoming one with your mind. That this right hand is your right hand. Right? You are believing that as I drag the ruler on your right hand there,
It totally
that it is
feels.
in fact in your brain, your right hand.
It totally
guy's like,
feels
I'm gonna
like my
come.
hand's crazy.
Feel the sensations line up with each finger.
What? Whoa, yo, this is crazy.
Yeah. So now if I just do like a little tap,
You know, hold on. You know what I think it's doing? When he touched the real hand outside of you, it is calibrating the fake hand in his mind.
I'm pretty sure we all get that.
No, but I mean, that's a good way of putting it. Like calibrating, I think, is a great way of explaining that. Yeah, and that's why he's kind of going through it. It's like when you used to have something that used to be calibrated. Remember your iPhone used to have to be calibrated for touch? You would have to recalibrate your touch screen occasionally.
The old school ones.
You'd have to do that even
ones.
for your directions on your phone. Sometimes your maps, it would tell you to move your phone in a figure 8 because it couldn't figure out what was north and south. And so
this is a similar situation, and because our minds are just hyper complex like quantum machines.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? Yeah. Feel the knuckles. Feel each digit. Okay, this is where. Now I'm gonna do this one more time to train your brain. Okay.
And soon it's gonna be creepy.
Feel your thumb. Okay, yeah. And your next finger. Middle finger. This is nuts. Ring finger.
Can you pause this real quick?
Does he just come out of nowhere with the hammer?
Well,
yes.
You know, for the listeners. For the listeners, there was a calibration tactic that was happening where he was simultaneously touching the dude's real hand while touching his fake hand in the same places, so he would draw the correlation. Now, he's no longer touching his real hand, and the guy still feels a physical sensation when he touches the fake hand. But that really throws into question the narrative that we get when it comes to like nerve endings are responsible for your feeling. Any sort of sensation of touch and pain is determined by your nerve endings, but if your nerve endings aren't actually receiving any actual signal like that, and this guy's still feeling it, then are they lying about that?
Dude, Ted and I got a video regarding that subject as well. But
That's fascinating.
Let's just see when he brings the hammer, because his brain has now accepted the plastic hand as its hand.
By the way, this guy looks like a fentanyl addict, but please, let's continue.
Most likely.
Now you're gonna feel it when I tap it? You feel that? Yeah. That?
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm gonna let you in on a little secret. I have not been using the other ruler. What? You feel that? Yeah. I'm not using the ruler.
Oh, what do you... I mean, it's crazy. It's not... Oh! Whoa, and even like... Oh, no.
Now,
Oh!
we're gonna do a little test. Now, again, this is all in your mind.
Watch his
You're training
fingers
your brain
on
to
the
feel
left of the
sensation,
screen.
okay? And your brain is thinking that it's feeling it. Okay. So even if it gets a little, what would be considered painful, I will not be harming you, because of course I'm not going to be actually hitting your right arm. But your brain really believes that this is in fact
He's like bracing.
your right
He's
brain.
freaking
Right, okay.
He's hoping his other hand will do that too. Like, why isn't it moving? Watch what's his hand.
Oh. Whoa. I'm totally feeling it in his hand. It feels... It just... Oh.
Let me tell you something. Wait, pause real quick. For a second, I was like, maybe this dude's a crackhead. But the way his fingers on his real hand are jumping as the guy hits the fake hand,
right?
They're so reactive that it's so in sync perfectly with being struck with the hammer on the fake hand that I don't believe it is instinctual. I don't believe he's faking it. It looks instinctual. It looks like a genuine reaction. That's fascinating.
It's also hard to move your fingers that way
Yes.
unless you're
Exactly.
unless you're herking because somebody's
That's
whacking
what
you
I
with a
thought. I
fucking-
put my hand and tried to do it, and I was
yeah.
it doesn't work because my
I
other
simply can't
fingers
do it.
move when I try to do it. So yeah, you're right.
Man. Yeah, and they were all moving individually. Just for the audience sake on audio, he's using a small reflex hammer on the fake hand, and it's causing a reaction in the real hand. That is fascinating. Okay, let's...
That's just one thing.
Yeah.
But going back to the virtual reality headset, so I was working on making the music for Tarzan VR, so I got to play around with that thing.
How is that? Tarzan VR?
Yeah, it's a goofy game, but
okay, all right.
I did
That's what he does. He composes music soundtracks.
Yeah,
for
I'm
sure,
a
okay, that's cool.
Great composer. Yeah. So yeah, I am. So when I was in that place, after a while I got used to the yes, laugh.
I'm sorry.
I just like that. I like unabashedly being like, I'm a
The
Great
best.
composer.
I am the best.
I'm the best.
Well, I have my reasons. I'm not delusional. I know
No,
why
I
I'm
mean,
saying
if you're hired in the occupation of composer, I believe you've got to be good at it. But
hired
I just like
or
being-
not is not the point.
I'm
Like
the fucking
I
best.
could listen. If Cardi B got 5 billion views, she's a strip artist.
That's right.
She's not a
That's
music-
right.
huh?
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is,
Even
I
if you
could-
don't pay me, I am the best.
yes, because you know why? I could make Bohemian Rhapsody, and if nobody heard it, it's still Bohemian Rhapsody. Do you know what I mean?
I don't think that's how it's pronounced.
Oh, it is Bohemian Rhapsody.
No,
But you
all right.
understand? Do you understand
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Like I could
Hell yeah,
compose
yeah,
the
dude.
best composition in the world.
Mamma
but
mia,
if-
mamma mia.
yeah. But if
don't know.
nobody
Here we go
hears
again.
it, if nobody hears it, it doesn't really affect the quality of the composition.
For
okay?
sure, yeah,
But
sure,
anyways,
absolutely.
going back to the VR headset, okay?
Yes.
I quickly started to think, hold on a minute, why am I responding to when I'm jumping off a cliff in the video game?
Yeah.
Why does it feel like I'm jumping off a cliff? It
You
doesn't
gotta
make
get that in your stomach, like
yeah,
you get that
the-
uprising.
The butterflies. Remember when you made a somersault when you were a little kid?
I still do that now. We talked about that.
It's horrific. I wish you'd stop.
Nobody likes it when I do it.
But guys, I
Gotta
will tell
keep going.
you, it's a great way. Like, let's say you're afraid of heights. I think this will lessen that because it actually your brain thinks you're in a skyscraper, high as you know. So and also jumping out. The first time you jump out of a skyscraper, it feels like you're jumping out, right? But eventually you get used to it. So if you're in any situation need to jump out of a
Then
skyscraper in
you're
the
all
future,
good.
you will now be a little bit more practiced.
Well, let me
in
ask you
you
that,
know?
Vince. You're working on this, and I imagine you're doing it over and over again because you've got to get the music just right to the jumping off of the cliff. So, do you find that it deadens that response?
What do you mean by that? That
Do it make it feel less like you have butterflies in your tummy? Like
With
when
the
you're
music?
Doing, no. Through repetition in the VR
yes,
headset,
yes.
does it make that feeling go away?
Yeah, you're more used to it, and it's like it's cool, you know.
I wonder if
But that happens.
actually would
That
translate.
happens in real life too.
Yeah. Well, I understand that, but I'm wondering if that would translate, or if you would start from square. I mean, it probably does have to help a little bit, right? Like if you were to
It
be
does.
skydiving after that, you would maybe feel a little bit better about it.
Or
Yeah.
even say you would brand VR of having your wife divorce you over and over again. It would be easier when it actually happens, you know?
That's
You'd
right.
be
You
like,
can
oh, I've
prepare
been through
yourself.
this. It's old hat, man.
Honestly, you have no idea. That could be great for some guys out there that
Dude,
feel
that's
like,
great for us. We're on the fast track
It's
with this,
like-
with this podcast.
The more we do this podcast, the more I feel papers incoming.
Right?
So like maybe,
Right?
maybe I should be doing that just
Compare
to prepare
it to-
myself.
Guys, compared to when the first time you started doing podcasts, compare that to now. How much more comfortable are you now compared to?
Oh,
the
how
first
much
time?
more dead inside am I now?
Oh, yeah,
yeah.
100%.
This is, we're just putting it on for you guys.
That's
It's
like
a
when
lot
he's
of,
like, who do
Here,
we talk to?
Show him your teeth. Go ahead. Show him the smile. This is
His
our-
mouth was smiling, but his eyes are frowning.
But you guys know what I mean. You guys know
the
what I
Mr.
mean.
Beast.
the
You get more
Mr. Beast
comf-
eyes.
Get more
That dude's a
comfortable.
fucking antichrist, all right?
Yeah, I'm sorry, Vince. Vince is he's making a serious point here. Shut up, David.
Yeah. You're getting more comfortable. So you're right, Lobster. In everything in life as well, the more you do it, the more comfortable. But it just proves you to you that, hey, there seems to be a connection between VR and this. Like,
Yeah.
how the can this video game thing trick your brain to believe it's in another realm? How? Unless the VR thing is tapping into something reality is doing, but in a
And
way
that's-
lower way.
That's the thing that actually started making me, because I never believed in simulation. I laughed at it before because we know the Earth is flat, blah, blah, blah. Vince would say, oh, well, all programs are written on a flat plane, so that ties into that. And then, so he started showing me some, and we were talking about these electronic hands where you can put a bracelet around your wrist.
Let me bring it up.
But as you move your hand, the electrical firings in your wrist tell this fake hand to move, and the way you move your hand, just by sensing these electrical firings, are making that move.
Yeah.
So then it led me to think about that everything our brain perceives is also just an electrical firing. Everything.
Yeah.
So is it a reality? Is it a simulation if it's all electrical anyway? And if I do believe it's a simulation beyond anything we can grasp as what we
here
have.
we go.
We
have
after we showed this, Ted made an excellent point about this. Yeah.
How long until somebody jerks off with it?
5 seconds.
Pretty much,
maybe.
but yeah.
Right.
He made
it
was over.
Okay, so watch this. With her mind, she will move this hand.
Yeah, and for the listeners, we've got an amputated individual with a severed hand walking around on the floor. She's got a robot hand. Oh, it's crawling.
Yeah, like
for
a
the
bionic.
drink.
Yeah.
That's pretty dope.
Yeah. So it's sensing what their brain would be telling in electrical firings into these things, and it's moving their appendages in that manner.
You know what, though?
This is the same theory that Neuralink operates on.
Yeah,
Yeah,
this is where
exactly.
they have telekinesis and telepathy.
Yeah,
Are you
that's
guys
what
aware of
brought
that?
it up. About what?
Yeah, look at this. That's not the guy from the Sign commercial, Tony Wu, is
You
he?
literally just think all Asian people look the same.
He looks
That was
exactly
crazy.
Oh, well,
racist.
real quick, hold on. You know what's fucked up about that though? I thought that too. And the
What,
other
you
night
thought
my
that too?
wife had on.
Hey, Ted,
I mean, I thought that
take
my
it
whole
easy,
life.
dude. Listen to me. This is a
Listen.
Christian
This-
show, all right?
This,
I didn't need you to
I'm
take it
sorry.
easy.
This is
That's
important
okay.
though. This
You
is
thought it
appreciate
too,
the
though,
apology.
right? When I saw him, I was like, he's about to
thought
pick
that-
up a sign.
But so last night, my wife loves watching those true crime shows. And there was this Asian dude on there. And I'm like, I've seen him somewhere before. That looks like the dude that was in Austin Powers choking him out. Blah, blah, blah. You're racist. I mean, my wife didn't tell me that. She would never tell me that. She knows better. But
It's just
it is him. It really
I slap
was
her with my
him.
mechanical
It is
hand.
him?
The dude from Austin Powers, the Asian dude in the bellhop outfit that chokes him, ended up kidnapping and some and became a
Whoa.
UFC fighter and all this. And
What?
yes, I swear to God.
What
I
an
swear
illustrious
to God.
career.
I know,
my
bro.
God.
We thought he had hit his peak early with Austin Powers, but really,
I thought he
after
hit his
that,
peak with the rape.
well, that was after. That's what I'm saying.
Okay,
you know?
can we
That's
go
what I'm
back to
saying.
the
I
arm
followed his
wrist?
career.
Can we go back to the wrist arm thing?
Please, please.
Okay, this is Meta, Facebook.
Sorry, Vince.
Meta. Yeah, Meta, Facebook.
Yeah.
They got this wristband that will read your nerves, whatever, the nerves that you know, whatever your brain sends to your hand.
Yeah.
They read that, converts it into bionic code, computer code, robot code, and the robot code makes the same movement from your brain. Like what you're thinking, it's now doing with its bionic hand. So if you're thinking of moving this finger, it will do that with your mind. So Ted made a really interesting, let me pull this back a little bit so we see him. He made an interesting thought about that. What if in the future, Ted, maybe you will say this
Yeah,
better.
so
Yeah?
if they're able to decipher that code in one direction, right? So they can pick up the electrical firing or the code or whatever, and they can make it do something. That means they've been able to identify it. So they can identify it, separate it from everything else, and know how to use it. How long will it be until they can reverse that and stop that frequency? And then they can just put a little collar around you, and your brain can't send a signal anywhere else.
I don't think it would even be a collar, man. I think that's an implant.
Yeah.
But yeah, certainly.
yeah.
Whenever you're seeing like they just made a car recently that's like, oh, this car can't go past a certain miles per hour. It was like, well, I don't want that. I don't want a car. I got a 2019 Subaru.
Yeah.
With the an actual ignition crank, because I'm just like,
Good for you.
I'm done with
Nice.
the key stuff. I'm done with all that, like the computers in the cars. My dad's car wouldn't start the other day, and he had to like do some weird stuff to do the push to start button. I'm just like,
That's why I want something old too. But it reminds me of I always talk about this.
Shout out Cheney with Subaru. I'm just
Oh yeah,
my
I
mind.
mean, assume she has a Subaru.
Had to,
Yeah.
She's actually the one that recommended it. To you. So
Look, Vince doesn't get it. He's like, I don't
Oh,
get it.
in
We drive
America-
How does it,
Vespa.
hold on. How does that electric car tie into the collar of blocking
Oh, well-
your
well,
movies?
hold on, we're gonna
It
get there.
doesn't.
Number one,
It doesn't at all. This
he
is
needs
my
to
show.
understand.
I do whatever I want.
Let me tell you something, Vince. In America, lesbians drive Subarus. Vince, that's
That's nice.
the joke.
Yes, we don't even allow Vespas out here.
We
You
don't.
understand me?
All right. Unbelievable. We wouldn't let a lesbian drive a Vespa in
that's
America.
reckless. How it ties in is that there are levels of control, like to your vehicle, to your hand.
Yeah.
Like I'm imagining your fridge that's tied to Bluetooth. All these people that want all this stuff, like a smart home. I'm like, yeah, it'll lock you out of your fridge when it decided you're too fat.
I want a home. I don't want a smart home. It reminds me a lot of those experiments they did on the cats. I know I bring this up all the time, but in the 90s, they were putting very simple what do you call them? Computer chips on a cat's brain, and all it was doing was sending an electrical impulse or not. And they put it on the center, the parts of the brain that were associated with aggression. And so they found that they could trigger the cat either into extreme bouts of aggression by just sending a simple electronic pulse, or they could send it into being completely docile. So no matter what you did, the cat wouldn't react whatsoever. Yeah. And now we're gonna let this put a computer chip in our brains, and I think that everybody's overlooking the direct access that it gives, where it's not just like augmenting you so that what's the guy from Back to the Future that played Marty who now has the shakes?
Michael J. Fox.
Michael J. Fox is a little bit shaky, so I'm sure if they put Neuralink in his head, he might stop, and we'd all be like, "How profound!" But they could also just stop Michael J. Fox, so you could do all kinds of terrible things.
A pillow over his face. Yeah, easy.
You could put a pillow over his face. You could put him, and he would not respond whatsoever. So people aren't. It's strange that we're barreling towards this, and we're going to allow this dude to do an invasive thing in our heads. Have you heard?
Well,
go ahead.
I wanted to go on because what you're talking about, like when you say simulation theory, I immediately think, what if, right? But then I go,
that was my first thought too.
Yeah, but you're right, because this realm is ruled by like weird electrical synapses. It's ruled by frequencies.
It's all
it's all electrical. It's all like radio. It's like waves, things that we can't necessarily perceive.
Yes.
And but then again, to boil it down to like a VR headset, it's like it's not that either.
No, well, that's the thing that pisses me off with simulation theory is the idea that we made Grand Theft Auto 5, and then we're like, this is all a simulation, man. And it's like, no, we are capable of creation, and we're made in the image of God, and so the things that we create, even inadvertently, emulate or mirror what God has created. There's a fractal nature to reality. That's where you get that idea of like as above, so below. What happens on the macro also exists on the micro. That's why quantum physics is a big thing. But it's still reductive, because what God has done far exceeds any simulation that we ever will be capable of creating. And so in that way, it's just a little bit annoying, because I'm sure people who created like Medal of Honor for PlayStation 1 looked at that and were like, dog, maybe that's what happened
it's like,
here.
Just like that. Like,
and they couldn't even conceptualize Grand Theft Auto 5. So whatever God has created here exceeds our understanding, and I think that's why we're told not to lean on our own understanding, because as soon as we think we got it, we're just like bastardizing it. And so but to your point, Vince, like, this was a creation, and there is a creator or a programmer. Even calling him a programmer is reductive, because there's so much more at play than just computer programming here. But I would agree with you. There is a lot of where if you start to look at it real closely, you go, wait a second here. Something made this realm. You know what it is, though? It's like a lot of people that are willing to engage with simulation theory would sooner have claimed atheism than Christianity. And I'm not saying that you have to be down with organized religion, but it's like the thing that they share in common sometimes is a disdain for Christianity.
Well, what atheists share in common also is round Earth.
Oh, that's
it's
true.
like people, and they'll get real insulted with you whenever, like, I was kind of messing with Cliff High a little bit, but other people, and I'm just like, hey, how do you feel about being on the same intellectual footing as Sam Harris and Neil deGrasse Tyson? And they're like, screw you, man, and they block you. I was like, I didn't insult you. I just said, like, these are the guys standing side by side with you saying the same thing.
Yeah.
It's like, well, maybe you should read, and that's like a little bit of a logical flaw of an argument, but there's something to it also, right?
Yeah.
If you're surrounded by those.
It also goes back to like the whole, if they think it's ridiculous, like if you think that's true, how can I trust anything else you believe? Because you're just listening to idiots that are failed actors and comedians that they put in the spotlight, and we're like, hey, you're going to push this now.
Right. But when quantum physicists say like, yo dog, we've peeped like code. It looks like there's like code written. So I don't even understand what that means.
Even the guys that were doing
with the lasers,
they were like doing DMT.
We just
looking
talked
at
about
lasers.
this. Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
We
So
talked
they're
about
seeing
this on our
code.
stream.
Yeah, but it was like ancient Enochian. So it's not ones and zeros. It's something a little deeper. But I guess at its core level, the fundamentals are the same.
But
the building blocks.
That's why. Go ahead, Vince.
I wanted to push back maybe towards you, Raven.
Okay.
First of all, I absolutely believe there is a creator, God. Okay? Whatever you want to call it, doesn't really matter. It's the same thing. It's responsible for everything, like the console, whatever, the programmer, console, whatever. That's number one. Number two, I think you said like you don't think there will ever be a virtual reality that can match actual reality.
Yeah.
I think they will not only match reality at some point, they will surpass it, meaning they will crank up the resolution even beyond realities, make it look better. You can do all kinds of sick that you can't do in this reality. Like all of a sudden a dragon comes in your face and like fireworks, like magical. They can do that in a virtual reality, where here it seems like it's restricted a little bit. So think about it. If everything is electrical signals, that means they can hijack all of your 5 senses from this brain right here, hook it into a fantastic virtual reality that you will not see the difference between reality and that. Like, let's say if
they may already have.
They may already have, but I think they're heading towards that, at least a new one. And if they clean slate wipe your memory when they throw you in there, you would not know that you were in a virtual reality. You would think that is your actual reality. And in fact, maybe that's happening when we go and dream. We visit other realities, and for that time when we're in there, we think that's real. You know, like, and then you wake up, oh, that was just a dream, thank God, you know, depending on what the dream was.
Yeah, sometimes it might be real.
If it was like you were riding some, yeah. Anyway,
yeah. Well,
was that a dream? Damn.
I don't think that you're. I now that you said that, I think that you are likely correct that we could create something that is more dynamic and fulfilling in some ways. Not fulfilling, but like amazing, and as far as our perception goes. But I think once you start incorporating the idea that we exist parallel to and integrated with a spiritual realm, and that there are heavenly realms, and that there are things that like people have dreams where they visit realms that they think are more real than what we're experiencing here.
Who's to
people
say that's not real?
Right, or people have near-death experiences where they go to something that is more real than what this is. So I think that we're in this realm, and it's capped for a reason. This is what we're meant to be experiencing here. To Vince's point, though, if anything did create something like Satan created a VR, and reminds me a lot of Mother Horse Eyes.
Yeah, you guys should listen to that. It's like
we tell everybody, listen to Mother Horse Eyes.
Where?
Vince specifically, you'll love it. It's hear me out. It's 10 hours, but I listened to the whole. Man, well, you do the stream for 12 hours, so you're fine.
Yeah.
Just look it up, Mother Horse Eyes. It's actually, you can find it on our feed on Nephilim Death Squad. Go and subscribe. But
on your Patreon or where?
Well, you can find it on the
audio. Yeah, you could listen to it for free as well.
Yeah.
But it's online. It's everywhere.
Yeah, it's incredible. Basically, long story short, it's a guy who did a lot of drugs and had a bunch of experiences, and then documented all the experiences. And it's like, he's like, you know, I'm leaving it up to you, but it seems like he lived several different perspectives for a moment in time and then wrote about all of them. And some of them are in the future where these people are consistently plugged into this VR and their bodies are rotting, right? But they've got like this VR headset on and they're in an infinite plane of pleasure and awesome experience, but their bodies are rotting and they're in these hygiene tanks where they're pissing and shitting, and that people have to come and do maintenance on them because they smell so bad and all this. It's actually like kind of horrifying.
It's horrific.
But they are locked in. Everything is like off. Everything is based on masturbation. It's constant. But you're going through these like really well fleshed out storylines and unbelievable graphics where you're looking at the minutia of everything and it seems so real.
But sometimes within the simulation or within your interface, these people will come across things that have like more profound effects. Like there's a couple of stories where like, I don't know, he doesn't necessarily say it, but I'm like, oh man, it sounds like you ran into a biblical angel. Like the guy, all of a sudden his eyes multiplied to like 2, 4, 64, uncountable. And he's like, he's got multiple heads. So it's like when you read the Bible and the angel interfaces with Ezekiel, it's a wheel upon wheels with eyes surrounding it. And it's like, nah, dude, you're seeing something that is in a different dimension.
It's interesting because the way he describes it, wheels upon wheels, right? You think about like a geometric shape. And then the way that they describe these kids who can perceive 4 dimensions and then they put them into a 4-dimensional VR. And it's like shapes, like rudimentary geometry, but it's moving in ways that doesn't make any sense. It's phasing through and it's actually like very jarring and they hate experiencing it.
Some people go crazy. Some can make sense of it.
But it's interesting because you go wheels covered in eyes, wheels within wheels. You go, oh, that's interesting.
What are you going to say, Vince?
You mentioned out-of-body experience. There's this guy, I think he's on YouTube, Darius J. Wright. He's a guy that claims he can go out of his body on demand. I mean, on, whenever, request. He's like, I lower my heart rate so low that eventually my body is still alive, but my soul leaves. Yeah. But anyways, so he says when he goes out of his body, he is going out of a firmament kind of a deal. And out there, he's surrounded by other souls and everything is nice and great over there. And he says, over there, you guys just decide to create a reality and then jump right into it. And he also says, you out there, your soul is the one that is creating these experiences. But once you jump in, you forget about it, of course, because you have to. Otherwise, like if you know what you are out there, you can't really experience this reality for real. You have to forget about what you are to dive in here and then learn about it. And God knows if you do. Go.
That's what the people are doing in that story. They're the hygiene beds are like, they'll turn them a little bit and they have alarms that'll go off in their like interface that tell them, hey, time to move around. And a lot of them figure out how to disable these things because they'd rather be within that interface. And that's it's but what you're describing is like, so some dude's doing this in the astral and then they're also working at breakneck speed to make this technologically like a thing that you can actually press buttons on and get to without I don't know, meditating or fasting or whatever techniques this person's doing.
Binaural beats.
I think Sam Tripoli would say that they're hardwiring mysticism.
Yeah, that's one of the things that I go, Sam nails it sometimes. Hardwiring mysticism is he nailed it on that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think, go ahead, Vince.
Can I show you the video? This is actually 2 minutes, but I speed it up. But it's Neil deGrasse Tyson and this guy, Jim Gates, way back in 2010 or something, talking about finding computer codes in reality.
Where has this pursuit taken you? Oh my God. Where have you landed? Why would you ask that? I'm asking that here and now. It's New York City. It's March 7th.
Well, partly it's taken to these very strange images that are behind your head right now. These are pictures of equations. I've been, for the last 15 years, trying to answer the kinds of questions that my colleagues here have been raising. And what I've come to understand is that there are these incredible pictures that contain all the information of a set of equations that are related to string theory. And it's even more bizarre than that, because when you then try to understand these pictures, you find out that buried in them are computer codes just like the type that you find in a browser when you go surf the web. And so I'm left with the puzzle of trying to figure out whether I live in the Matrix or not.
Wait, you're blowing my mind at this moment. So you're saying, are you saying your attempt to understand the fundamental operations of nature leads you to a set of equations that are indistinguishable from the equations that drive search engines and browsers on our computers?
That is correct. So
wait, I have to just be silent for a minute here. So you're saying as you dig deeper, you find computer code writ in the fabric of the cosmos?
Into the equations that we want to use to describe the cosmos, yes.
Computer code?
Computer code, strings of bits of ones and zeros.
It's not just sort of resembles computer code, you're saying it is computer code.
It's not even just is computer code, it's a special kind of computer code that was invented by a scientist named Claude Shannon in the 1940s. That's what we find very, very deeply inside the equation.
Now, hold on. There's one minute here with him again, right here. Listen to this, because he makes a great comparison to the movie Matrix. Listen to this.
We're now at a point where some really interesting things are going on. First of all, in Geneva, Switzerland, there is a scientific laboratory called CERN, C-E-R-N. And at this laboratory, they have the world's most powerful particle accelerator. In fact, it's sometimes called the Big Bang Machine. And if any of your viewers have seen something like Angels and Demons, the movie, that big scientific installation in the movie is CERN. And so what's going to happen at this location are a set of experiments where physicists are going to actually see if these mathematical switchings that we talked about earlier, whether you can detect that in the laboratory.
Now listen to this.
If that happens, then we will know that our equations are not just mathematics, but they're also a description about our universe. The other thing that's going on in my career is a little bit weird, and I'm almost a little bit loath to talk about it. I don't know if you or your viewers, and I'm sure some of them have gone to see the movie The Matrix. But in The Matrix, there are people like us, and they live in a world that's kind of like our world. And the only thing about their world is it's not what it seems, because the totality of everything that people experience is generated by a computer. So it's a virtual reality. Well, some of my research can be interpreted to suggest that we live in such a world. And that's just kind of mind-blowing. So by studying the equations that, that I've been knocking around with forever, in the last 5 or so years, I've been able to show that hidden inside of these equations, there are computer codes. They're the kind of computer codes that make browsers work. And so if the equations that describe our reality have computer codes hidden in them, that's just kind of weird.
Now listen now.
And in fact, it's so weird that I like to tell people, let's go back to the Matrix movie. If there were physicists in the movie, and they want to know they were inside the Matrix, how could they do that? Well, one way might be to try to detect computer codes in the equations that describe their world. But that's what I've just proposed.
See, okay, so this is all very fascinating, and I have a couple of things to say on it. I'm skeptical of this, and not the findings, but I'm skeptical of Neil deGrasse Tyson because he's a homosexual man. I'm skeptical of the Matrix because it is Gnosticism formed into entertainment for the masses, and it was written by two people who are now. And what I think is actually happening here is
they escaped the Matrix.
They escaped the Matrix. Now they're ladies. But they're not incorrect about their findings. They're just incorrect about the nature of their findings. I find it remarkable that science and the technological community can poo-poo God and things like that, even though for countless ages, a bunch of different religions have been saying that this realm was created by a creator, and that we all go someplace else, and that there are alternate realms around here. And then science comes along and it goes, well, actually, this is what's going on. And if you look at the Matrix, the film The Matrix, it is about the demiurge, the ancient AI that is subjecting mankind to some sort of slavery experience is the demiurge, and that's what Gnosticism has dictated God is. God is not benevolent and loving, but he is actually this horrifying programmer, this AI, this demiurge that seeks to enslave us and loose us all. And it's a strange thing that we found ourselves in recently, where everybody is waking up to this idea, but it's like this. We talk about it on the show all the time. It's like 9 truths and 1 lie. There is a tremendous amount of truth in what we just were exposed to, and a tremendous amount of truth in Gnosticism, and a tremendous amount of truth even in these other religions. But there is one fundamental lie, and it's the nature of it all. And that's where I think things go a little bit screwy. And I'm not saying that that's what that guy was saying, and I also am not saying that that's what Neil deGrasse Tyson is saying. I think but I don't think that he's got like an agenda per se. But I've seen this a lot, and it is Gnosticism rebranded for a modern age.
I would say, if anything, it kind of confirms that there is a creator. Like if this is a simulation, and it is, if it is code, then something has made that code. Whether they want to push that or not doesn't really matter. If they confirm that this is a virtual reality, then somebody has to have done it. Somebody has to have programmed it, and that's the God. That's the supreme being. I used to be an atheist all my life until a few years ago. I don't remember exactly when. But I had this question. I told Ted, he's like tired of this story. But I had this question. If there is a God, then who created God? Then who created that God that created that God that created that God? I was like, this can't be I have no answer for this. So therefore I'm an atheist now because, I couldn't answer that question. Who created God, until I realized that nobody created God, because God do not live in a beginning and an end. It's just an open stream of time. It's just reduced that for us in this virtual reality, where we get born and we die. And I try to apply that rule set to the creator, which is dumb. Okay, that's dumb. The creator just put a limit on time for us. That's it. But when we go back, it's endless again. So therefore, that means nobody created God. It has always been there. And that turned me into a God person. I'm not a religious person. I believe in God.
Yeah, the definition of the word eternity means like a long period of time, but it still means time.
Right?
So it's like, well, what is that? Like, because we have no good words to conceptualize. We have no idea how to conceptualize it, because we're on the line going this way and that way. But I don't know, if you read the Bible or you believe in the scripture, these fallen that begun this story of from Genesis 6 to all the way through now, they're already judged. So they've already admitted to what they're going to do. They've already done it, and they've already been judged. It just hasn't been played out, because time is just, it's not the same, right? Like for us right now. So for us to like question that, or even to compare to like, well, because this is like code that I can look up porn on my browser with, then it must be the same thing. As like, yes and no. But the fact that there are building blocks, like something interesting. I was listening to something about the Shroud of Turin, and they were able to identify Jesus's blood type, and it was a very rare blood type. And then it got me to thinking. I'm like, that specific type of blood, whatever makes that up, probably has to be that way in order for him to.
But Lobster, can I ask you, how did they do that? Like his blood type? From
the Shroud. I have no idea.
Supposedly, taking some sort of sample.
But how can I trust that though?
You should. I'll send you an episode. It's a crazy story. How could you trust that it is the Shroud? How could you trust that it is him that was buried in it? So on and so forth. There's a lot of evidence that I think that it was, but even so, if this was this guy's blood and he was here doing a specific set of things, he would have had to been made up of something particular to transmute our reality in this way. And I think that goes all the way down to your blood, like the way Rh negative bloodlines can interact with the supernatural more readily than other people. People with red hair and blue eyes, that kind of genetic makeup, that it is what it is. They're more likely to have these experiences because of that. They're like building blocks, ones and zeros.
Yeah. That's why like
dualistic. Yes.
You know why numerology works? And I do believe it works, even though I think it's and shout out to Gary the Numbers Guy for being but the reason that I think numerology works is because what we've done here is we've made an observation about the realm that we inhabit, which is that somehow numbers have a great deal of sway over different things like personality types and outcomes and things like that. And it seems like the elites are constantly trying to get things to line up numerologically speaking.
Because they know.
It's because numbers are part of the fundamental building blocks that God used to create this universe.
Yeah, and we're same thing with angles. The dome, the idea of the firmament. There is a specific angle so that way the downward and side pressure will not crack this thing. It's all angles, numbers. That's really what it is.
This
like
right
an
here,
egg.
This right here. And I want to say, Vince, I have been, I was not always religious, and I'm still not religious. I mean, I go to a church for the first time in my life as of recently because I'm trying to see before I knock it. But I came to this place after like Gnosticism and all these different ideas. I've been a conspiracy theorist for 18 years now. I came through that direction. And this right here is actually what I found. Shout out to Nancy. Producer Nancy says Jesus is the cheat code. The version of Christianity that we have been given is very unappealing. And it's not until you look at it with a different lens that you begin to understand, like, oh, this thing that they've made quite an effort to make corny and make they're doing that because there's something here within it that is not just like, I go to church and they don't talk about this. I go to church and they just go like, look, man, it's about being humble, which is true. And it's about like Jesus Christ came as a servant. He was God made flesh and he came to us as a servant. He came to serve. He humbled himself.
You guys are pretty humble, yes.
Yes,
I like it.
I would say so. And so there's like a lot of things.
I'm the most humble.
They're the most humble.
I'm the best at being humble.
But all of these ideas about like fallen angels taking their place as lowercase g gods among the people and deceiving and all these different things, they don't talk about that. And once you have some context for that, like I would recommend looking into like Gary Wayne or somebody like that, you might find that you'll go, oh, this does explain a lot. And this is not what we're getting from mainstream Christianity or Catholicism at all. But we are at the 2-hour mark, and Top keeps giving me the fingers, not like, but like that. Again, that's what he's doing.
Can I buy this final thing?
Please give us 3 final things.
We gotta have you guys. First off, we gotta have you guys back on because this is fun.
This is a fun conversation.
Too bad you're out there.
End it now.
You're in Australia, Germany, wherever you're
Italia,
at. Italy, whatever. Very unfortunate.
Yes, I am Italian.
No, show us what you're gonna show us.
What are you gonna do?
Okay, so this is I connect this to time. Okay, watch
this. Wait, no, I don't think he's showing us this. Is he showing us this?
Hold on. Do you see that?
Okay, yeah.
Whenever I pause it, it disappears.
Wait. Oh yeah, that thing.
Mm-hmm.
That thing. Whenever I pause it, it disappears.
Yeah.
Okay.
So right now he's showing us like a weird pixelated. It's almost like a magic vision thing that he's playing as a video, and it has a shape like a circular shape moving.
Looks like a ring moving through static.
When he stops it, it
just blends in.
Yeah, that
seamlessly.
shape's not apparent anymore.
So you can only detect it in its movement. Are you saying that this is a thing, like a metaphor for what we're unable to detect because we live in the moment?
Oh yeah, this is what I'm gonna say, and Ted has heard this 5 billion times too. But I have this thing about the present, like the now, the past, and the future. Okay, all 3 of those states do exist and do not exist at the same time. So if we look at the now, you can be in the now, but once you try to capture it, it's already out of your hands.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever you say now, it's gone. Gone. Now,
that's true.
Gone. But it still exists, but it doesn't. The past has existed, okay, in the form of your actions, this, that, whatever, memories, photos, whatever. It exists, but it doesn't exist. Your action in the past might come back in the now and with you. So the past exists and it doesn't exist. So then you go to the future. It does exist in the way that it's coming to you, but it doesn't exist until it comes to you. So all 3 of those states both exist and do not exist at the same time. And going back to this video here that I showed you, I think this was a great visual representation of what I just said, because in this video, if you pull it back up again, you can only see all of its movements when all 3 states is in play, like the future, the now, and the past, making all of the, like when remember those old movies, they go from one frame over here to the middle and to the so the only way you can see this is if all 3 states, the now, the past, and the future, if they're all activated. But once you stop all that, it disappears. Anyways, it's a little thought thing that I have.
I can see what you're saying. It's like existing in the now, like only this moment. Like if you try to freeze that moment, you can't perceive any of it.
Even the now stops if you pause it. Like all 3 are connected to each other. Like the future, the now, and the past. None of them is more real than the other. They're all as real and they're all as fake, dualistic. Yeah, you can end it now.
Oh, okay.
All right, bro.
Well, thank you very much. That was wonderful.
God
well, before we
damn,
end it, I do want to
like
have
a
you guys
car
back.
crash, right?
That was
like, Jesus.
Honestly,
It's
that
over?
made me want to do it again even more so. Before we get out of here, guys, where can everybody? Oh wait, no. I gotta ask everybody one more thing.
Oh yeah.
Do we
All
have
right,
time
one more
for it?
I guess so.
Are you
Whatever, ask
freaking
a
out about the
question.
time over here?
Well, a little
Tell
bit.
me the truth.
Yeah, my wife called me. She's like, "Where are you?" And I was like, "I didn't answer you."
You didn't answer her.
I'm
Oh,
not
it's after
answering.
5 o'clock. That's why.
Those divorce things that we were talking about. We
Yeah.
should
What
get
was
those.
that guy
coming
who
up.
said that? Preparing. Do you have a
yeah.
divorce VR?
Make me the divorce VR where I'm just like fat in a room with just a TV.
All right. Well, I'll
Perfect.
ask you one last question, but please don't be long-winded.
Vincent.
Jesus. Yeah.
Are you guys having fun?
No.
Absolutely.
Why not?
I mean,
you mean here or in general?
That's what everybody says. Everybody just like in general.
Don't give me
I
a
mean,
lawyer
but the answer
just-
is yes all the time. If you're not having fun in life, change your goddamn life because you're doing it wrong. Because that's
what
why
state? What country are you in, Vince? You're
Yeah,
in
Sweden, but
Switzerland?
I'm Iranian,
So
Persian.
He's a liar. This guy's
lying.
a liar.
He's literally.
I'm not a liar.
He is
Colorado.
in New Jersey.
You
He's
want to know
literally
how
in
I
New
got
Jersey.
these scars? Like,
Well,
Guys,
I wanted,
can I just say-
to invite him to Bohemian Grove, but he'll never make it. He lives in
Oh, listen, Ted, tell us our goal. Our goal is to get me to the
I'm gonna
United
sponsor
States.
him. I may marry him. I don't know.
Yeah.
Sponsor him for a
Okay.
job, something to get him here.
All right.
Because I need to be in the America, okay?
He knows more about America than I do. But
You're not
just,
allowed.
I know
you're
we're
not
late,
allowed
but
in now.
just for next time, so to give you guys a little thing, have you ever thought about how all the craters we see on Earth that they tell us are meteorites that hit and cause impact craters, they're all at perfect 90-degree angles, and there's 200 of them proven on Earth, which there happens to be 200 fallen angels. Maybe those craters are the fallen angels descending to Earth.
I like it.
I literally never stop thinking about that. I think about that.
Yeah, I thought I was brushing my teeth
I
thinking about
only
that.
think about it when I come.
But every time I come.
Yes.
To answer the question, are you having fun? Absolutely. You know why? It's all about dynamics and being on the same place. You know what I mean? Like with some people, you don't get that, and therefore it's not as fun. But when you're more in line mentally, and you're not sensitive,
and you're not a that's
yeah,
basically what
it's
about.
beautiful.
Don't be a
Oh.
bitch.
I think that's a wonderful answer. Top Lobster, do you want to bring us out?
I love this guy, first off.
I love you,
Sounds
Vince.
like a
I love you,
Russian.
Vince.
I love you,
I love you
Vince.
guys.
Guys, thank you very much for coming to watch the show. This has been a Nephilim Death Squad. Until next time, Mamma Mia. Obey us.
The greatest hypnotist on planet Earth is a oblong box in the corner of the room. It is constantly telling us what to believe is real. You can persuade them that what they see with their eyes is what there is to see. You can't. Because they'll laugh in the face of an explanation that portrays the bigger picture of what's happening. And they have.